are you? All right, so welcome back to Across the Bar with Silos. We're back from hiatus. There's a lot of things that happened that where all which were 100% all under my control. It's just a lot of things happen. Like when you do here's the thing. This whole podcasting can be hard, especially when you're not doing kind of like a YouTube or a solo podcast where it's just you talking, when you're relying on guests and all that. Because the guests that you're inviting, they have a life, they have jobs, and there's cancellations, there's reschedules and things like that. Also, I have a job, I have things. So like I said, all this is stuff under my control. And the thing is that when you decide to reschedule and you decide, hey, let's not do a podcast this week because so-and-so canceled, or, I'm like really busy with work. What happens is it becomes a lot easier to say that again and then say that again. And that's totally my fault, which sucks. The cool thing is that I got like so many DMs or people reaching out to me saying like, hey dude, like when's the next one, man? It was fucking fun. It was pretty good. And I was like, dude, that's so fucked up because, even though this podcast doesn't have, 20,000 followers, 15,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 200 followers, the people that do listen to it, like I actually really appreciate the fact that they find this interesting. So I found myself to be a piece of shit, and you know what? It's totally, I realize that, hey, it's totally up to me whether I want to do this or not. So I have all the means. It was just stop being fucking lazy and just fucking do it. And so I'm committing myself to doing this, having a podcast once a week. And you know what? In the end, like, if your success is reliant on you, you know what? Because somebody told me something really interesting when I was telling them this stuff. It was like, hey, if you put in half the effort that you put in your actual job to this, it'd be actually very fucking different. And that's a goddamn truth. So saying that, in this kind of like rebirth of this podcast, I couldn't think of anybody else that I'd rather have to reboot this off, more than fucking Sloppy Bobby, Mr. Robert Santana. What's up, dude?
The slob is back.
The slob is back, and you're not slob back as yet.
No,
not quite yet. It's only been one Jack and Coke.
Yeah. Oh, no. Not
But
today.
anyway, cheers, brother. Thank you so much for
cheers. I love coming,
for doing
dude.
this again.
It's my favorite.
How do you like the new look, man? I mounted some shit.
I like it, man. I like all this. It's
because
you know what it is? I'm not artistic enough to think of like decorating stuff, right? So like I'm like a different kind of artist, but when I see like, I was like, oh man, this is
Are you
cool.
calling me a decorator?
I'm calling you an artist. I don't know what gender you are right now,
but anyway, dude. Anyway, I'm so glad that you're here. And when I called you about doing this stuff, I love the fact that you were like, dude. Oh, actually, no, I didn't even call you about doing this stuff. You called me, and you're like, dude, what did we fucking do with the podcast again?
I know, man. It's fun. I like it. Sometimes I go on a little rant, or sometimes I tell a story. But
it's so funny because, like when you tell me like, because I remember telling you like, oh, okay, like, an actor saying like, oh man, when are we gonna do this podcast again? It's like, yeah, obviously, fucking, telling the actor like, oh, do you like the sound of your own voice?
I don't like the sound of my voice. I feel like it sounds very like nasally. But then you know what I discovered?
It doesn't. No, I don't think it sounds nasally.
I went home a couple weeks ago. It's been like 2 weeks.
Don't you go home every day?
Hometown, Chicago. I went to Chicago, and then I noticed that a lot of people are kind of nasally. You know? you know, because of the way we say words like leg, like
Welcome
leg.
to Chicago.
Yeah. So
Nasally.
it's very nasally, the sounding of it, you know? So I was like, oh, so that's where I just get this, like, that's why I talk the way I speak, you know? And then, but I mean, there's times where like I change my like diction. But every once in a while, like you can kind of hear like a little bit of the accent. But I get a little LA accent here and there too.
What's an LA accent? So from somebody from Chicago, what's an LA accent?
Well, like a Hispanic LA person says the R's a lot, like hard.
Well,
you know, like
Hispanic,
like Raiders.
Raiders.
That's very,
okay.
you know, Dyers. You know, like that's very like LA.
It's very cringy too.
Yeah.
You know what's actually really funny? Because so I was born in Mexico. Came here, had to learn English. And one of the things that I get a lot from both white people and black people and the Asians and the Middle East and what did I miss? Oh, like in Hispanic people. They're like, oh, that's so weird. Like, oh, you were born in Mexico. You don't have an accent. Yeah. Do you feel I have an accent?
In speaking English? No.
Yeah.
I definitely have an accent when I speak Spanish. Like, if I go to Colombia, like, oh, that's an American. You know?
Well, I mean, yeah, totally. Like, no, when I go to Mexico, they're just like, oh, hey, man, how's the U.S.?
Although when I went to Tulum like a couple months ago, and I was killing the game. I was killing. I don't know what it was because I need a little practice because I only speak to my mom in Spanish, right?
Oh, you're killing the games. Oh, okay, with all the girls.
Yeah, right. Like I was everything. I was hustling.
By the way, hold on. Can we stop? What for people that don't know, what does killing the game mean? Because where I come from. Meaning, like in work, killing the game means you're doing really good at your job.
Oh, well, yeah. So and like it was like all encompassing, right? So like, okay, I'm in.
What does killing the game mean?
So like encompassing, it was like killing the game, like with whatever you're doing, right? So it could be work, it could be with girls, it could be like swindling, it could be whatever it is. So like all encompassing. I'm in Mexico, and then my two buddies are non-Spanish speakers. So then I'm the leader.
So you're the Spanish speaker?
Yeah. Oh. So I'm the leader, right?
Yeah.
And so then it's like, okay, how much is it going to cost us to get over here? You know? And then I'm like trying to like, you know, hustle like, hey, well, this guy over here told me it's this much, you know?
Yeah.
This and that and the other. And then the same thing like when we're going into the like.
By the way, hold on. Pro tip. That's how you, like, that's a thing that you got to do because they know you have dollars.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So like they'll totally like try to make. So,
oh man.
So you know how to you need to learn how to handle that step, and that's one of the great steps. Is like, hey, this other person said this. Call their bluff.
So what you know what the first thing I thought about is funny because I would say, because my mom right now she's an older lady. She's very calm, but I'll never forget how she was when I was a kid. Cause she was 20 when she had me. And, you know, she's from Colombia and this and that. And she would always, I was very timid.
Wait, were you born here or Colombia?
I was born in Chicago.
Okay.
I was born in Chicago. But, you know, Colombia is like it's a tough place, you know, and it's all about hustling and this and that. And, you know, closed mouth, don't get fed.
Yeah.
Type of place. And when I was in Mexico, I would always say, it's like, okay, what would my mom do right now? Like, what would my mom do? And I remember we were at this one, we got a hotel in Tulum, and it was something weird where like, we're like, hey, you know, the room is not ready, this and that, you guys came early. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, we'll just leave our stuff here and we're going to go to the beach party, you know?
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll check in. It's not a big deal, you know?
Was you and a bunch of dudes or?
Me and two buddies, right?
Okay.
And my buddy,
Guys?
yeah.
Okay.
My buddy used his like points, like American Express points to get this room, something or other, right? But he doesn't speak Spanish. He's Filipino.
Well, obviously he has an American Express. Hey,
he's an old Marine buddy of mine.
I'm kidding. I have an American Express.
I do not, but I want to because there's a lot of benefits, you know. But it's a little expensive. Anyhow, so we go and not long story short, we go to the beach party. Mm-hmm. We have a great time, and then we're like, all right, man. It was my buddy's fault where I was like, hey, we should go back and change for the nighttime. And then my friend's like, no, man, you want to look like a local. People that dress up are obviously tourists. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not comfortable. Like, I'm in like a Bulls jersey, you know. I was like, I don't know if I can get any ladies like this at night. Like everybody's kind of, you know.
I guarantee you 100% the ladies do not want the locals.
So, anyways, my friend is wrong, right? We try to get into a place. He's like, my guy's like, I told you can't get in like that because my jersey was very like obvious, you know. And I told my friends like, dog, I told you, let's go back to the room. Let's check in. Anyways, we got to check in. This, that, and the other. We go back, and it's 8 p.m. and the shit is not ready. You know, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? What's the deal? You know? And I was like, hey, what's up with our room? You know, I'm telling them in Spanish. And then they're like, oh, it's not ready. We got to make sure it's clean. And I was like, yeah, but it was supposed to be ready at 3. It's 8. Like, how long does it take to make sure it's clean? You know, it's like, oh, you know, something. I was like, okay, whatever. We'll get it done. You know, whatever. I don't care. Then like an hour and a half passes, 2 hours. It's like, yo, what is it that's going on that you got to make sure that it's clean? What's the deal?
Yeah.
You know? And then luckily there was this other dude. He was like a Spaniard, like the way he was speaking in Spanish. He was going off because he had like a family, you know? That
So he was like from Spain.
Yeah. And he was like going off. He had like a family waiting in the lobby, you know? And X amount, the same exact thing that happened to us. And then I was like, yo, let me know if this room is available so we can find another room. Because guess what? It's like 10 o'clock and I don't know if there's rooms available because you guys like jacked us up.
Oh, shit.
You know? Like, what the fuck? And then and I'm doing also in Spanish and I don't know. I'm just like flying out the mouth. You know? I think a lot of it has to do because now I'm getting irritated. You're like preventing my whole getting abilities now. And it's so like, I was like, get it done, man. I got to change. So boom, they fixed it. We go into the room. It was fucking awesome. The room was like, I was like, man, too bad we're going to be here like an hour, right? Because if we're going to change, leave, come back, sleep, and check out, you know? So the next day comes, and then, like, we're checking out, and then I asked my friend for the credit card, and I see, like, they're going to run it. I was like, whoa, how much are we paying? You know? Like, what's the deal? And she's like, oh, you're going to pay the regular price. And I was like, why?
No.
Why are we doing that? And she's like, oh, because I was like, let me tell you what happened yesterday. Is there not a note there? Is there not a note? And I'm doing this in Spanish. I can't even do it. I can't even replicate it right now. You know? I can't even replicate it. It's like, is there not a note there? And then they're like, oh, she's like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, listen, this is what happened. And I was like, that's freaking ridiculous that you're going to charge me for, we were here 3 hours. Basically here 3 hours, you know? And long story short, she's like, oh, well, do you want to speak to my manager? He comes like in an hour. I don't got an hour to wait. Like, for your manager that should have fucking fixed this. And then nonetheless, she was like, you know what? I won't charge it. I'll have it pending. And then you guys talk to the company through email or whatnot, you know? And I was keeping in touch with my buddy. And I was like, hey, did you ever get charged? And he's like, I don't know. It says pending. And then like a week later, it was like a free stay, you know?
Oh, in the end, they didn't charge
Yeah, in the end, they just didn't charge, you know?
Fuck yeah.
Because I went off. I went like mad Colombian. Like,
by the way, when I think about I went mad Colombian, that's not what I thought that meant. No, yeah, it's like I went mad Colombian. What? I got us a free room. That's not what I would think.
But yeah, and it was funny because I was arguing so long that the manager did end up showing up. But like I just like I don't even need to talk to nobody. Like I don't need to talk to nobody else. And then we still left our baggage there, and we went to another beach party, and then came back like hella wasted and. Oh man, I was fucking.
But you were killing the game.
I was killing the game. I was doing so great at that beach party, and I had all these girls around me, and I fucked up. I don't do any drugs. I just drink, and I was talking to this really hot girl, and then my buddy came over, and he was like, you know, kind of wingmanning me, and then he was like, hey, do you want to take you want some of this weed brownie to the hot girl? She's like, yeah, I'll take some. So then it's like. It wasn't peer pressure. They didn't make me do it. I was like, well, fuck, because this hot girl's taking it. Let's do it together, you know? But they had eaten all of it. So there was just like crumbs. I had crumbs.
Hot girls will always get you.
Man, she was bad, dog. She was like this tall, like, she spoke French, but she was from Switzerland. You know?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And she was hot. And
so here's the thing, like, you know, when people talk about guys and stuff like that, it's like we're very simple creatures. You have, you said that you don't do drugs. You have a hot girl who speaks French from Switzerland. All bets are off. What are we doing?
She fucking, she was so interested that she would like type what she wanted to tell me, and then like,
oh really?
Yeah. It wasn't like I don't understand you, right? Because then nobody's like I don't know what you're saying. She was like, okay, and she just kept on like translating. I was like, oh, this is good, you know? And then I took like crumbs. I was like, oh, fuck, whatever, you know? And then I see my one buddy that took a big chunk, and he's just like staring at the ocean. And I was like, oh, man, you're fucked up, huh? He's like, yeah. Da, da, da. I was like, well, thank God I only had a little bit. Boom, it hits me. I'm just staring at
From
the sand.
crumbs?
Yeah, because I'm like, my body's like so pure.
Because you're so pure.
Yeah. And I'm staring at the sand, and I'm fucked up, man. I can't stand, like, my equilibrium is off. Like,
I will tell you this. I do edibles pretty normally. But if I go a week without doing them, it hits me like I never took them. So I can't even imagine what it's like if you've never taken. So I can understand with crumbs.
and it dragged because it was so long that I forgot I even took, you know, like, I was like, what the fuck's wrong with me?
Yeah.
You know, because it took like 2 hours or something like that, you know, because it was so little. And then I guess now finally it's in my blood. And I'm over here trying to do like drunk person tips. Like I'm trying to throw up, but it's too late. It's in my blood, right? And I'm fucking barfing. Like all these fucking girls that I'm talking to, they're like, oh, what the fuck is that? They're like, ew, you know? And I was like, oh my God, I'm fucked. And then like I had coordinated this taxi guy to pick us up and take us back to Puerto Vallarta. That's where we were actually staying. And we're in Tulum. That's like an hour and a half.
Oh, gotcha.
It's an hour and a half away. And like
I was going to say, damn, because those are like far away from each
yeah,
other,
so that's why I coordinated the guy at Puerto Vallarta. Hey, drop us off and pick us up.
That's a city.
Yes.
Like a small city.
Yeah,
like within Tulum.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's like an hour away.
No, because Puerto Vallarta is like all the way on the other side.
Well, whatever.
Oh, anyway, go on.
Anyhow, I coordinated to where like I don't want to get a guy in Tulum because Tulum is more expensive.
Right.
So I was like, hey, can you drop us off and pick us up when we let you know, you know? So I'm doing the WhatsApp. And then this guy's like messaging me, where are you? And I'm fucking fucked up. And everybody's fucked up, right? But they're fine fucked up. I'm fucked up, you know? And I'm the only Spanish speaker, you know? And I'm like, ugh. You know, I'm just trying to like power through. And then like the bill comes and I'm like, here, someone pay with my card. I don't know what to fucking do, you know? And finally I gather enough to message him. And we're lucky that guy, like, you know, he needed money, you know? And he stayed. Like, we were, like, an hour, 2 hours late from when we told him we needed to get picked up. And he found us, man. He parked his fucking vehicle, and he was, like, looking for us up and down the main strip. And I walked out, and he found us. I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm so fucked up right now. Like, I told him, I was like, I took this fucking weed brownie. And he's like, oh, shit, man. That's fucked up, you know? And then, like, he even picked us up and took us to the airport. Like, I tipped him, like, good. I was like, here you go, bro. Thank you for, like, being there and then taking me to the airport like hours later and da 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 da. But yeah, anyway, I was on my game. Even the high, I was able to like Spanish hustle, you know. And I think that's pretty important if you go to Mexico on vacation, because it's not going to be cheap. It's just not going to be cheap.
Tourist spots aren't cheap.
Yeah, it's not going to be cheap because, you know, they advertise it like, hey, this is a cheap place, and they're right. But like if they know they can get over on you, they're going to get over on you because that's their living, you know.
You know what's interesting about drugs and why I think they're cool is that, especially something like that, like what you did, right? Because like with alcohol, right? What you're trying to do, you know, if you're fucked up, you're like, you know what? I'm going to stop drinking. Let me drink water.
Oh, I was killing water.
Let me try to sober up.
Oh my God, I drank
like,
so much water, it didn't matter.
But drugs, once you're in, you're
committed.
In.
That's
like
it.
Your body, like what your body is doing, it's doing its thing.
It's fucking over. I do not like that.
Yeah.
I can back out of a drunken moment, you know?
Yeah.
I couldn't back out of this, man.
You know, you go there, you go to the bathroom, put water in your face, like, okay, come on, like, da-da. But no, like, especially like, you know, you're doing edibles, mushrooms, stuff, you know, acid and stuff like that.
Oh
like,
my God,
you are in it you're in for the trip.
Thank God I don't do drugs, 'cause I can't. And then like, I'm pretty creative in the sense, I mean, I'm not a decorator or nothing like that, but like, but like my mind goes off, you know?
Yeah.
It goes off. Like I have some very vivid dreams, and they're like movies where like it even pans out, you know, like that. So I can only imagine.
Who's directing your dreams?
I don't know. Sometimes I'm speaking different languages that I've never learned.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, and it's like, and I was like, what the hell?
But quick question. Like, are they languages that you like, are you speaking French or are you speaking some language?
Yeah, it'd be like Slavic stuff, you know? Like, I was like, whoa, how the fuck do I know that?
Slavic.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I was like, oh shit. And I've only heard it like a few times, like in high school, because there's like a lot of there was a lot of those kind of kids in high school. Like my school was humongous, you know, so it was like everything. It was a big melt. It was basically like New York City. Like my high school was New York City. It was like 5,000 kids. Like all the races were there. All the races were there.
So, you know, kind of going back to what we were saying, that like you said that you don't like the sound of your voice and stuff like that, but you're a creative guy, you're an actor and stuff like that. Why do you think, because that's a pretty common thing where actors, first of all, I don't know an actor that's not self-centered. I don't know an actor that, you know, borderline, what's that thing? What's a fuck? Where you're all about yourself.
Oh, like metrosexual?
No. That term hasn't been used in like narcissist, right? I feel it's very, very rare to find an actor that's not narcissist. So like, why wouldn't you want to watch like, you know, either commercials that you've been in, movies that you've been in? I could do it. Or like you're also an Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah.
But I know you don't watch your own fights either.
I don't.
So what is it like? What do you think that is?
I think it's beyond being an actor, right? It's
because here's the thing, like I said, I feel like if I hang out in a room with actors and like, it's lame. Well, not lame, but like since I was in drama, like when I was 16 or whatever, it's always been like that. It's always been like me. So it's very weird to me that the same people that say it's all about me, when it comes down to watching that stuff, they're like, no, I don't want to watch it. What do you think that is?
I think it's just because like sometimes you don't want to watch you mess up, you know? Like, for example, like my ex-girlfriend, she'd be like, hey, do you want to watch this video of your fight so you can learn about your mistakes? I was like, I know what happened. I know where I lost. I know when he choked me or he grabbed my arm or whatever. I don't need to see it, you know? Whereas like a fight that I won, I'd watch it maybe once. Like, you know, unless it was like a great fight where I did something crazy cool. I was like, okay, I want to see how I did that, you know? Yeah. But like, even if I won, I was like, I don't know. I just criticize myself really. It's probably like the criticism, right? Like so a lot of people are like, even athletes, they're like their worst critics, you know? And then like, I was like, ew, I move like that? That's not even fast. You know, like, how am I going to trick this dude if I do a fake like that or whatever like that? But there's also different kind of actors, right? So, for example, when I was in college, there was this internship where like you can go to the Cannes Film Festival and you can work it. And then like you can basically like watch all the films for free. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, let's do that. So then I signed up. It was like, I don't know, a couple $1,000s. Like I think my mom helped me out with like $1,000. And I went to the Cannes Film Festival. So I go there and I was very hesitant because when I was in college, I was already like an older student. I think I was like 26 at the time and all these kids are like 18, 19, 20. And there wasn't like a lot in common I had. I was already like a veteran of foreign war. And at this point, I already had been in Vegas like 2.5 years. So I was out there like getting hammered, looking for girls, this and that. And I was just like a different person than all these kids coming out of high school. And to top it off, these theater kids, it was very cliquey. It was very different. And I didn't get along with a lot of people like in college. Not that I fought or I hated anybody, but like it was like we just didn't have a lot in common. So there was a few people there that I was cool with, and they know who I am. They know who they are. Like they're still my buddies on Facebook and whatnot. But like it was really small. Like it was probably like 5 people I was cool with. And so then I was very hesitant to go to this internship. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go to France. I'm gonna be with a bunch of fucking kids that this, that, and the other that I don't get along with, and I'm gonna have to like just pretend I'm cool with them. And then, dude, I get there, and the difference was, like, all those people were like film people, and they were like just hungry, and then they were like, man, I had the fucking best time. Yeah, like, I was like, oh shit, so it's not everybody's not like this, you know what I'm saying? And I had like such a great time, and they were like, it was weird because even then they acknowledged like my age. It's like, oh, so then what do you think about like? It was like everybody was equal. It was awesome, and I was like, okay. And that like prompted me like, okay, this is still a career path that I'm cool with because there is people that are like me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because at first, like, when I was like, man, these fucking lames.
Like theater nerds.
Yeah, and
like
these fucking tree people. And,
yeah.
you know,
Tree
and
people?
they fucking
What even that
don't
means,
want to
tree
shower and like
Oh, okay.
granola. You know, like, it was just, I know I got snickered at a lot, you know? And I was like, whatever, dude. I'm here to do my thing. I'm here to accomplish the goal. Thankfully, I was older, right? It's like, hey, like, here I'm here to accomplish the goal. I sit in the front of the fucking classroom. I'm not here to be cool. Like, I don't care if you're my friend. I'm over here looking for whatever. I got adult friends already, so it's like, I'm cool.
Yeah, you know, it's really interesting because like I feel I'm the same way. I think that like I love attention. I love things to be centered around me, like that kind of stuff, right?
I don't. Like, I get embarrassed. It's weird. Like
yeah, but like, there's a reason why you tell me like, hey, you know, when's this podcast coming? And there's a reason why I was like, hey, by the way, this person got more views than you. Oh, what? Da da da. There's a reason for that.
But like for example, I went to a nightclub with my baby brother and my friends in Chicago, and they're like, hey, we're gonna get this bottle, blah blah blah. We're coordinating the amount, right? I was like, yeah, let's do that, right? And then these fucking girls come out with the fucking fire shit, and the music stops. I'm like, oh man, can you guys like not like bring the attention over here? I'm just getting a bottle. Like, relax. Like, I don't need like. Same thing in Tulum. They do that nonsense where everybody comes and they la 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 la, and like everybody like looks. I was like, everybody stop looking at me.
Do you think maybe it's just because it's not the attention you want?
Probably. Like, well, first things first. I don't need everybody. I don't need people thinking I'm a baller because I am not. You know, so I don't. And I don't want to front like I am either, right? Because I'm not. That's not how I want to win.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. It's weird attention. Like, if it's my birthday, you better. If we're in a restaurant, do not tell that waitress it's my birthday, so they can all come and fucking sing happy birthday begrudgingly.
You know what I want to know though? The people that want that, they're fucking psychopaths.
I think so.
The person that is like, you make sure you tell the freaking waiters at TGIF Fridays that it's my motherfucking birthday, okay?
If we're gonna get a discount, that'd be cool. But like,
psychopath. The only reason you do that is for the free dessert. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, the reason why I asked that too is because like when you said that, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm kind of the same way too. Like I love the attention. I love talking and I love all that stuff. But like, I did an album a couple years ago. And one of my buddies from work, DP, who actually makes all the graphics for all this stuff, like when you see like on YouTube, like, you know, he makes all that stuff for me. Shout out to him. He was so supportive, like when I did that album, because he had it playing. So like, you know, I work in like it's like kind of like a Genius bar type setting, right?
Okay.
And you know, we have music, we have speakers, and he was like, "Oh, let's put your album on there."
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, "Yeah, okay, well, whatever." Mind you, when we're done recording the album and we're listening to it, I'm like, fuck yeah, my dick is fucking hard. My balls are fucking big. Yeah. I fucking wrote this shit.
Mine shrink.
Fuck
my
yeah,
dick is
right?
hard though, but yeah.
And the thing is that he's such a cool dude that when people would come over, right? I told you it's like a Genius bar setting. I was like, oh, by the way, you hear this music? Yeah, that's fucking that guy.
Oh my God,
there.
I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
And I'm like, and people are like, oh yeah, that's awesome. No, come here. I'm just like,
dude, you know,
but that's so counter to like, why shouldn't I be like, yeah?
I think I have like the best friends.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, because I have like the best friends you can possibly have. Like, man, all my friends are so supportive of the things. Like my actual friends, people I hang out with, people I talk to, they're so supportive of things that I do, right? And so then I got a group of friends, same thing, group of friends that I go out with. And then like, they're the ones that tell girls that I'm the actor, right? Hey, friend right here is an actor. Da 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 da. I'm like, oh, so what have you been in? I'm like, oh, I've been in this and that, and you know, nothing special. And then they'll pull it up and like, look at this, look at, you know, and it's like, they're the ones that promote me, and I don't promote. Like, I don't know why. It's like, I like to keep that secret, right? I say, by the way,
I know, but it's counterintuitive, right? You shouldn't keep that a secret.
Yeah, you're supposed to network, right? You're
Yeah.
supposed to network, and it's like, and I'm confident in my abilities. Like, I'm not like, oh, I'm like a
Do you think that it's because, like I said, like, once we listen to the album and you're just like, yeah, my penis is hard because it's so fucking amazing. You think it's because that's actually really fragile, and like when you actually somebody else is bringing this to other people, you're like, oh my god, I actually don't even know if this is actually that good or not.
I think you're correct, man, because like artsy things it's like a thing, like almost like an emotional thing. It's a thing it's something you care about, right? Because art is usually free until you die, right? Until you die, then it's like where it's cost, it's worth something. So like you put a lot of yourself into it, and so then now it becomes a thing about judging, and then regardless of who you are, it's gonna matter to you. It's gonna matter to you, like if it's good or not, right? It's gonna matter to you if people, the senses, the consensus, or whatever it is, they think that your shit is trash, like, fuck, and then, cause there's times where I thought something I did was fucking badass, and then I get all these notes. I'm like, what? And you're like, fuck, okay, and there's already self-doubt. So there's already self-doubt to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you're just afraid to have more on top of it,
By the way, I have a question, kind of like really off topic, because I remember you mentioning some shit about your teeth getting knocked out or something like that.
Yeah.
But your teeth look absolutely perfect. What the fuck?
I just did it myself, man. Basically.
Wait, what?
So like, I was doing this kickboxing. I joined this kickboxing gym because it was like one of the only ones that was open during COVID because everybody was acting up. Everybody was afraid. And this kickboxing gym by my crib was like open. So I joined. And obviously, like, I'm a quick learner because I've done like martial arts and I'm an athlete. And they're like, oh, fuck. Okay. So go to this beginner class. So go to this like advanced class, right? So we do the class. And the kid, he's a kid. It was a fucking accident.
How old is he?
He's got to be like 21.
Okay.
And he was a little taller than I was.
So you guys are sparring?
Yeah. I'm holding the bags. I'm holding the pads.
Oh, okay.
I'm holding the pads.
Shit, okay.
Yeah, I'm just holding the pads. And it was like a combo, boom, boom, boom. So it was like the side, and then he has a kick over here. It's like 1, 2, and then side, and then kick. And he miscalculated. I know I'm a little shorter, but I wasn't that short, and he fucking straight kicked me right in the mouth. Boom. And I was like, immediately, like,
full force.
Yeah. And then my tooth was like in my mouth. I was like,
oh. Wait, like, what do you mean in your mouth?
Like, I felt it. I was like,
like it went sunk
in?
It
was in. Cause I had like, it was still like very COVID. Like, we had to wear a face mask.
Yeah.
And then, and maybe the face mask probably helped a little, where the tooth didn't fly out. So it was like in my mouth, and I was like, I fucking threw everything. I went to the mirror, and I was like, oh no. And I just grabbed my tooth.
Wait, so it sunk in?
No, it was out, bro. He kicked in, and it was out. And I was like, oh my God. And I just grabbed it, and I put it back in. I put the tooth back in. And then like the instructor, she's trying to talk to me, like, what happened? I was like, dude, I got my tooth. She's like, what? What do you mean? Like, da, da, da. And like, she's trying to assess the situation, and I'm assessing my situation. Like, what do I got to do? Like,
yeah.
Like, there's nothing you could do. Like, you're not a dentist, right? There's nothing you can do right now, right? You're the kickboxer, like, there's nothing you can do. And then like, it was like a morning class. It was like 6 a.m. So I was like, fuck, nothing's open right now. And then she was like, no, there's things open. Like, things are opening up. Like, she's thinking about COVID. I was like, no, I'm talking about open right now. Like, see, that's why I don't need to talk to you right now. So then I leave. I go and I...
You know what I appreciate about that before you go on is because you know how important a fucking grill is, bro.
Oh, my God.
It's the difference between you looking like a crackhead or a normal person.
Unless you're like 7 feet tall, it doesn't matter. Girls don't care. Girls don't care. You could be missing all your teeth. 6'5" and above, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But anyhow, I'm like, oh, my God, dude. So I go home and I call these places. There's places not available.
What time is this now? Because things don't open until 9:10.
Exactly. It's still like 6:30 and nothing's open.
Obviously, yeah.
And I look online. I was like, oh, fuck. So finally things are open. It's 9 o'clock. And I call. And there's like a language barrier because I live in Koreatown.
Yeah.
And one place didn't want to even speak English. And then the other one there was like, we don't have a doctor today. I was like, how? What are you doing? Just cleaning today? You guys are just cleaning?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another one's like, oh, we're booked. I was like, yeah, but this is an emergency. The one place that really aggravated me was like a month before. I had called the place and they were like, hey, no, we're not doing that. Like, I just wanted a regular checkup. And they were like, no, we're just doing emergencies, you know? I was like, oh, I understand, right? Because of COVID. So then I called that place because it's within my network of like my insurance. And then they answer and they're like, oh, no, we're booked. And I was like, okay, but you told me to only go in there if it's an emergency. This is an emergency. Like, my tooth flew out. She's like, yeah, we just don't have time. And I was like, okay. So then I did more research. I found a spot. It's like 10 o'clock. So mind you, when I would bite with like my back teeth, I noticed that my front teeth would touch my bottom teeth. And I was like, okay, that's wrong.
Oh.
You know? So it's still like in between the time. So then I basically like molded my own teeth and I just like push them forward all.
Ugh.
Yeah. And I would do it slowly, right? I don't want to do it too hard to like where they all fall off. So like I molded my teeth. And
Wait, so you basically put your mouth back together?
yeah, I did it all myself.
By yourself?
By myself.
Did that hurt?
No, because I was scared of not having teeth.
So the adrenaline...
I was like, I don't give a fuck what has to happen. I don't care who I gotta ask for money.
Rob.
This is about to get fixed.
So you're telling me that you put your teeth back into place?
Yeah, I was not playing games, man. And so then I finally called this one spot, and they were like, "Oh my God, please come in." She was like, "I can't guarantee you that they're gonna like, you know, do a procedure on you, but they can like assess something." You know, I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I put the tooth back in. I just need to know." Do I keep walking this earth like this? Like, you know, like, do I keep walking around the earth like this? You know, I'm not, you know, I just need to know like specifics. So then I go in there and they're like, what's the deal? And they're like, oh, what the hell? So then I go do the x-rays. And then I'm waiting for the doctor. The doctor comes in and he goes, hey, Mr. Santana, I read your profile. And it's like, so what happened? And I told him. And then he's like, yeah, and then my tooth fell out. And he's like, and you just put your tooth back in. I was like, yeah, right there. I was like, yeah, wow, that's pretty amazing. I was like, yeah. And then, well, you know what I thought about is when I went to cons, one of my roommates was a hockey player. And he said that, like, he would, like, I asked him, like, how come those hockey players don't give a fuck about their teeth? He's like, they care, but if they get it fixed, they can't play. So they just wait to get it fixed when the season's over. It's like, but when we kind of don't care. Like, I got rocked. My tooth flew out. I grabbed it and I put it back in. I kept playing. I was like, you're fucking crazy. I would never do that. But then I remembered that he grabbed it, put it back in. So that's exactly what I did, you know? And the doctor was like, man, I looked at your x-rays. Everything looks fine. Like, I wouldn't even know something happened. Like, there was a trauma, like, if you didn't tell me, you know?
Really?
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't know there was, like, trauma, like, if you didn't tell me. But what we can do is put a stint. I think I still had it, like, on my birthday. I believe. What
does like that do? Just
so
holds
they
it
had like
together
a plastic like braces type thing that like anchored with my canine teeth, and they just make sure like nothing moved, you know.
Yeah.
Till like the gums like healed and everything. So as they're putting that on, like the assistant, you know, she's helping. She's like, "Wow, you did like a really good job putting your teeth back together." And I was like, I think they were about to offer me a job or something. I don't know.
That's fucking wild, man.
I was not playing,
I've
man.
never heard that before.
I was not playing, dude. Like,
and you have a picture of that, right?
I only have a picture of like when I put the tooth in, there's an outline of blood.
Can you send that to me just so like for the podcast I can put, like see what it looks like?
Because there's no picture. Obviously, I didn't take a picture of me with no tooth because I did that shit
You do
in
not
seconds.
want that on the internet.
Yeah.
Nope.
I fixed that in seconds. I didn't have a tooth for like 1.5 seconds. You know, boom, my tooth is out. I'm like, and I looked, I'm like, no. And I just put it back in. Like, I was like, nah, that's not happening. Not today, ever in my life. Nope.
Do you say that that's because of your time in the Marines, or do you say that that's because of your time living in LA?
Oh, yeah. I think it's the Marine Corps. You just gotta fix shit, man. Like, I don't got time, especially since it was like, well, I didn't know things weren't open till 9, right? I just don't have time to wait for somebody to.
Well, you lived in Vegas. Vegas is like 24/7.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But not stuff like that, you know. And luckily, I knew that the ER can't do nothing for me. So I would have spent like hours at the ER. I don't know how I knew. I don't know where I heard or read that the ER can't do nothing for you, like when it's like about your teeth. You know, they're like, oh, your organs are fine, so we don't care. You know.
Yeah.
So I knew not to go to an ER. That would have been a waste of like 5 hours or whatever the fuck that would have been. And
well, I'll tell you this: like I remember when you telling me like, oh yeah, man, my fucking teeth got knocked out. I was like, no, you have all your teeth. What the fuck? Like you,
it would have sucked to get a fake tooth because then you have to match the color of your teeth.
Yeah, and it's like $10,000. It's fucking stupid.
Oh my god! And then like, who knows what my insurance? I had
so you didn't even put it in milk or anything. You just like,
I just put it back.
No,
in.
because you said instantaneously.
Yeah, boom! I didn't have a tooth for like 1.5 seconds. Like this is not about to happen. Like, just know. Like it's like, yeah.
The more you know. If you get your teeth knocked out,
put it back in.
Put that bitch back in as soon as possible.
Fucking waiting for that
instantly.
Shit, putting it in milk. Because what happens, I guess, like, and then I asked my cousin, she's
and go somewhere where you can communicate with them.
Yeah.
It makes all the difference.
I don't know if she's like an orthodontist or what she is. Like she's some kind of medical professional with teeth. And she said because like it was like a fresh cut, like with the nerve, like that's why everything is able to like.
So
connect.
the nerve just like went back to the tooth?
And like because the problem with something like me, what can happen is you could put your tooth back in and it can never connect again, and then you can have like a dead tooth, so it turns like brown or green
it's
or
gross.
whatever.
Yeah.
So like because it was so fresh, it was so fast.
According to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it smells really bad.
I say that about girls.
Yeah.
I was like, that girl looks like she smells.
Oh, I thought you said that girl looks like she has a dead tooth.
No. I say that about girls. Like that girl looks like she smells. I was like, I don't want to deal with that.
What? How do you call that out?
No.
What are the signs?
Flies.
A
lot of it has to be
flies.
Like,
there's
a lot of it has to do like the way they act, right?
Oh, interesting.
A lot of that has to do with the way they act.
By the way, welcome to the new segment, Into the Mind of Rob.
Well, because I got to assess. They assess me all day. You know what I'm saying? Immediately. Half the time, I'm like,
that guy looks like he can't dunk.
Yeah, exactly. Immediately, I'm assessed, right? Like, oh, that guy can't dunk. He's not a man.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, shit. I'm not a provider of any sort of.
He's short. He can't provide for one whatsoever.
There's no way he could defend me. There's no way he could defend me.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
Like that matters now because girls, like, they're fighters. Like, especially, like, even, like, I'm a non-complainer, like, at a restaurant. And then, like...
Well, because you worked restaurants.
Yeah. But if there's something I don't like, my lady will take care of it, you know? Like, you know what? I was like, okay. You
like that meme. Like, what do you get with toxic chicks?
Oh, yeah.
Because somebody has to say that I ordered baked
mashed
potatoes.
Potatoes. Yeah, somebody got to tell them. I was like, I don't want to tell them. You know, I feel bad.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? I think that's a lot of things, right? Like, that's a funny thing, right? Even as a high school kid, as a wrestler, I was like, man, there's not a lot of guys I'm afraid of. Like, I'll fucking fight you. But you're so afraid of, like, 100-pound girl. Like, oh, man, she's so hot. What am I going to say? You know? Like, it's like a weird thing. And then there's something like that, like the restaurant, right? You're like...
Well, physical versus, like, rejection. Like, because, like, physical is different, right? Because it's like, well, it depends. Like, you know, you're a fighter and all this and all that. But the rejection is an emotional, psychological thing, right? And that's totally different.
You're like, fuck. But it's a weird thing. I don't like toxic girls, by the way, but still, there needs to be a balance, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not gonna say something about something,
you know what's interesting? I don't know if you saw my post today where you said like, as a guy, you need a good balance, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like you need dudes that are, and we've done this. I mean, and all of us are you know have had this where you need friends that are like, hey, bro, like if you need anything, let me know. Like, let's take you out drinking. Like, you know, hug it out, cry it out, whatever, you know. But then you also need friends, which could be the same person, that are just like, shut the fuck up, stop being a pussy.
I'm like that with my buddy.
Don't need to name him.
Yeah. So my buddy, we were talking about another friend, it's like a mutual friend, and he was like, you know what, bro? You need to be real with that person, just like you're real with me. When you tell me I'm fucking up, you fucking straight tell me and da da da. And I was like, well, yeah, it's a little different, right? Because I know I'm not hurting your feelings. Even if I care your feelings, I don't care because I know you're going to get over it. This person might not take it the same way, you know? So I got to maneuver. It's still my job as a friend to try to help, like, tell you what's going on. But I got to maneuver, and I want to do it in a way that you're not offended and you don't think I'm, like, hating on you or trying to bring you down or whatever,
Yeah.
you know? So, but with you, I don't fucking care because I know you're not.
Yeah.
You're not gonna take it that way, and you need to hear it because apparently nobody tells you shit.
You know what I think it is? I think, you know, like there's this
You gotta know your audience.
no, it's not even that. You know that there's this so if we're to put something like there's like a gauge, right? And you got to see where your buddy's at, right? Because there's parts where your buddy's at the level where, you know, at a certain level where you can be like, shut the fuck up. You're being a pussy. Fucking man up. Right? But you know, at some point, sometimes your friend goes the other way where you're like, oh, okay, I guess I have to be kind of like this is real. Like I have to be like, hey, don't jump off the ledge.
Oh, no. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think like we're pretty good at diagnosing which one's appropriate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. You do have to figure out like when it
where
is.
you're just like, oh, like, you know, girl, like, da, da, da. And so, you know, it's always dumb shit like that.
Oh, I love telling them about like when it comes to the girls. Like, hey,
and
this is
then
what it
it's
is, bro. This is what it is.
And it's like, oh, you know what? Do you think fucking Jay-Z fucking cries about this shit? No, that fool cheated on Beyonce, bro. Fuck this shit.
Money fixes
But then
things.
there's like, I want to kill myself. It's like, whoa. All right, let's not call him pussy.
Let me remind you how awesome your life is.
Yeah.
Let me remind you how awesome your life is.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I do try to remind my friends about like their worth. I was like, hey man, like this is how important you are. Da 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 da. Right? Because I gotta think
told
about
me
it.
that.
Because I haven't needed as of yet. You know. Because I myself had to like talk to myself about it, right? Like,
well, sometimes Rob, it'd be nice. You know what? Sometimes Rob, it'd be nice.
I know.
Hear that
I gotta decipher it first. I gotta see. I was like, oh, depression shows a happy face. You know, depression's always a happy face. But I mean, I learned things. Like I said before, man. Like I'm really like not ashamed.
Question for you: being in the Marines, is it? And because, whoa, oh my God, I forgot that whole other subject, which I don't know. We'll talk about it a little bit. But like being overseas, you were in Afghanistan, right?
In Iraq. I was
in Iraq. So being over there and being around all that shit, is it harder for you to like, let's say when one of your friends over here is crying because his girlfriend broke up with him?
When I first got out, because it was like fresh, right? So the whole Iraq thing was 2003, and I got out in 2004. I went to college, and these fucking kids were crying about, you didn't tell us that the quiz is going to be next week. And then like, okay, bitch, well, fucking, you got a fucking week to fucking study. Like, relax. There was a lot of things I equated to, like, they're crying about books, and I'm crying about, like, you know, not having, like, a sappy plate to protect myself or food or whatever the hell it may be. But as time went on, I noticed that I would like X out a lot of things that happened in Iraq. Like I forget everything. I forgot a lot of things. I would only remember if like somebody brought it up, and it could be some kind of defense mechanism. I don't know, but like
it's pretty. I think it's because it's pretty consistent with like I have a lot of friends that are like Marines and Army people, and it's pretty consistent like how quick you can disconnect and go back.
Yeah, I just like
But
I always know that things can be worse because I've been like at the shittiest point of like I'm not even homeless and the shit is like this fucking shit sucks. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I know you went over there and stuff. Like, do you have like PTSD, depression, or any?
I do have some. You know what is weird about it is like you don't know that you do, like especially like if you're like
there's like different levels, right? There's some that are obvious.
Well, I mean, it's also like a culture thing, right? So like I'm a guy, I'm an 80s kid, right? So this is the time of like masculinity and then I'm Hispanic, so it's like uber masculinity, and then I'm a Marine, and that's extra masculine. So
Yeah.
then you know, growing up, I played football and I wrestled, and it's like, are you injured or are you hurt? Shut up, suck it up, and do it, right? Like,
Yeah.
And so what happens is you have all this trauma, and then like you fucking ignore it. You don't assess it, you just ignore it. So you don't deal with the problem, you just ignore it, because guess what? The next thing, which is like true with something like I got my tooth knocked out, I got to fix it right now. And then later on, I'll cry about it, right? But when you apply it to life, it doesn't work like that, right? Because those things are still lingering. And then that's how people are addicted. That's how people get depressed. That's how people this and that and the other. So anyhow, I have like a million DUIs. And then finally, like the government was like, yo, dude, you're going to have to do some jail time because you're just wilding out. So I'm like, fuck, I can't do jail because like I finally have like my life kind of together in the sense of like, you know, I got my own apartment, I got my own car, I got this and that, and da-da-da. And then I was like, oh, man. And so I'm figuring things out. And then and one of the classes that I'm taking, like I was blowing in this machine every 2 hours, like this show that I'm sober. It was a fucking mess. And then so then like one of the guys mentioned like, hey, the VA has this thing that helps veterans. Da-da-da-da. I was like, whoa, what's up?
Yeah.
So I went over there and I asked him, like, what are you talking about?
Were you like, help? I don't need help. Or
no, my thing was I want to do this to not go to jail.
Gotcha.
Because all these classes I've taken like for the DUI, like I was like, yeah, I know this. Yeah, I know this. I can counter all of this, right? Like, for example, like they always try to scare you with like something like, you know, 30% of all traffic fatalities are from drunk drivers. And you're like, fuck, that's a lot, right? But then that tells you that 70% of people are sober. So like sober people shouldn't drive, you know?
No, I never thought about it.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
So that tells you that 70% of traffic fatalities are from sober people.
Yeah.
You know, fucking assholes, right? People.
But that's your mind kind of rationalizing what you did,
But the
right?
thing is like, on a separate topic, like I had spent a lot of time trying to like prove that I'm not a bad person.
Sure.
Right? Because what they do is they demonize the DUI guy as if there's some kind of species that like they purposely, I mean, like a sleepy driver is worse than a drunk driver, right? And what's worse is that you're conscious and you're saying, where I need to get to is more important than these people's safety. Because, you know, when you're sleepy, you're like, fuck, I'm tired and this is dangerous.
Yeah. So, you know, what's really interesting about that is, I was listening to this guy who was like I don't know, like a sleep specialist. And he was mentioning the biggest difference, the difference between both is that when you're drunk and driving, the problem is, and I'm not saying like you're so drunk that you just knock out. And
there's different
whatever.
drunkenness.
But like the problem with drinking and driving is the fact that your reflexes are bad. So it's like when you're supposed to hit the brakes, when you're supposed to move or something like that, it's delayed, and that's why a lot of the
like
bad
an old
stuff
person,
happens,
so
right?
they shouldn't drive either.
But when you're asleep and you're driving, you can drift off the freeway. Because, like, okay, so let's say, you know, you're on the freeway.
For minutes.
And then you hear a thing like, duh-duh-duh, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, shit, okay.
Yeah.
But when you're asleep, you literally just fall
you're
asleep
gone.
and
You're
you
out.
just venture off the thing.
Until something like there's an impact.
Right.
You know? And that's the shitty part, right? Because you don't wake up till there's an impact. Whereas like a drunk driver, like what? It doesn't matter. It's all different.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I spent a lot of time.
So did you tie like the the drinking thing?
Yeah. So what happened was
the PTSD and all that.
So what happened was he was like, hey, just go to the VA, right? So now another thing that the VA is so terrible with service, you basically got to beg to get into this program, you know? And so it was really easy for me in a sense where like, hey, I have a drinking problem. And they're like, how do you know you got a drinking problem? And I'm like, well, I got X amount of DUIs. And they're like, oh, you know?
You know what's so weird though? Because like, I don't know, when we hang out and stuff like that, I never feel that you do, but like every once in a while, it'll be like special occasions where like, okay, like we always joke around about Sloppy Bobby, right? Sloppy Bobby rarely comes out.
Now,
it's just on very special occasions.
Well, because you know me as we met like I was 30.
Oh, okay. Oh, before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We met, I was like 30, man.
Yeah.
Like Sloppy Bobby, that's a real thing. It was Rob the Slop first. It was
Oh,
Rob the
okay.
Slob.
Oh, yeah, Rob the
And
Slob.
then
Yeah,
Sloppy
yeah.
Bobby was like an older, drunker version where it was not as bad as Rob the Slob.
Yeah.
So Rob the Slob was like a big mess. And so then like what sucked about it, a lot of it was celebrated, right? It didn't help me, right? That like everybody loved when I got hammered.
Yeah.
You know? But that's not my friend's fault, you know. But so when I go to I find
It's
my
a
way.
culture.
Yeah.
Like in the, especially in the US, like we celebrate like
Yeah.
drinking culture and stuff.
And then
Yeah,
like
so
being a
that makes
Marine,
sense.
nobody gives a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, you got hammered, you know? And it's like you want to get super hammered. Like you didn't get as hammered as I did. No, like you're like competing on who gets
Like,
more
dude,
hammered.
how normal is this conversation, right? On a Monday morning around the fucking water cooler or whatever, like, oh, we do this. Oh my God, I got so fucked up. No way. What did you do? Oh my God. First we drank like 2 shots of Jaeger and it was like, whatever. And like, we had these margaritas, like they were so fucking good. And then like, oh my God. And then so somebody ordered us a round of tequila. So we drank that and like, oh my God, I got so fucked up. And then, you know what I mean? Like it's
funny
people are
because-
like, and then the other people were like, no way, you're so crazy. You know what I mean? Like
I'll never forget
wild,
like
yeah.
my first time in Cali. Like I got stationed in San Diego, and I'm from Chicago, and so there's like a cultural difference in the sense, and I'll explain, where it's like I'm in. It's my first duty station. I mean, my first American one. I was in Japan first, so I'll get to San Diego, and I'm in this meeting for my job or whatnot. And there's this white dude. He's fucking hungover as fuck, right? And he's hurting. And he's like, bro, what I wouldn't do for a carne asada burrito right now, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never heard a white person say that.
Yeah.
What I wouldn't do for a carne, like, I was like, whoa, you know the word carne asada? Like, you know that word? Like,
Yeah.
you know carne asada? Like, you know that word that exists? And so that's like the culture thing. And it's funny because everybody was like, oh, well, now you know. Like, nobody cared. Like, nobody cared, right? They only cared about when it was a big weekend. It was like a 3-day, 4-day weekend. And then they'll give you a briefing. It's like, hey, if you're going to have sex with a condom. Don't drink and drive. You know, here's some pictures of motherfuckers that fucked up. You know, you're like, all right, can we
And
go?
Rob's like, wink,
Yeah.
wink.
Yeah. And nobody gives a fuck, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I finally get into this program at the VA. And I have to subject to like a piss test. Like the first time it was like fucking every day. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah. And then it became like every 2 weeks, every week. And then it was like once a month. I was like, okay, I could do that because the VA is far from me. I live in LA and my VA is in Long Beach. So it's like 45 minutes with no traffic.
Yeah.
So then like I'm going through the motions, right? Like I always did all the previous times. But the difference was that now I'm in this group with fellow military members and I'm listening to them and they have the same story, but like in the 60s. Same story, but in Ohio. Same story, but it was like the fucking same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, fuck. Right? You change things here and there. And I was like, oh. And then what happens is like these substances, like, it's not so much that I like the taste of alcohol or nothing like that. What happened was it was like, I'm trying to cover up for something else. You know? And so then it's like, boom. Anyway, so I go to this thing. I'm like, holy fuck. And what happens is I'm very disappointed that of all the DUIs I've ever had, that it took something like this to show me what the issue was.
Yeah.
Because in the end, like the government doesn't give a fuck, man. They don't care. They just want, give me the money. No. Thank you. Go fucking drive again.
Yeah.
They don't fucking care, bro. They never fucking cared. Not once did they ever fucking cared. You know, because if they fucking cared, they'd make a program like that. Not just go, show up, sign, this and that. Because like
You would think there would just be cops outside of bars, right?
yeah. And then that's what happened my last time. Thank God I got like, because that's like entrapment, right? But like, thank God that happened because that time I would have killed myself. Oh my God, I was fucking blitzed. I had just did a tournament and I hadn't eaten in like 3 days, you know? And then like,
Oh, you had to cut weight?
yeah. And then like my ex was like fucking driving me crazy. And then my buddies went to watch me and like, fuck, bro, you after this tournament, let's go watch the fights. And I was in Fullerton.
You get fucked up.
Yeah, bro, it was fucking boom. But nonetheless, I was really disappointed that it's just like a joke, right? Because you don't know, like a civilian person, like if a civilian has an issue and they get this DUI and it's like, here, pay this, and then go off upon your way. Like, your punishment didn't really help.
Like, there's no actual real program to help
it's
you,
not.
right?
It's a fucking joke, dude. Because what it is like, you can't sit there and tell me these statistics about how this is bad and this and that, when you know that like all that shit is like a mental thing. You know, like
it's a little bit deeper than just I like to party. Right?
It's not. I mean, obviously you have to change your behavior, right? You have to change your behavior. That helps a lot, but like it's like a deeper thing, and it's so disappointing.
Has jiu-jitsu helped that?
Oh, that helps a lot. As of late, I haven't been doing it because I got injured and stuff. But like when I was in jiu-jitsu, like it's a godsend. I love jiu-jitsu, even though I haven't done it in a minute. Like I will never not do it. I'll be that old guy.
Yeah,
doing it. I love it because.
And so, how are you now? You're good.
I'm all right. Like injury wise.
Yeah.
I had like a bicep tendon repair like May. And then right now I feel like I can probably start training again.
Okay.
You know? It took a minute. Cause I would do like curls and like I'd be strong for like 5 sets. Like after the 5th set, like there was like a weird pain.
What about like, are you good? Like with the whole like mental thing?
Like I'm a lot better. Like obviously because now you have to acknowledge it and you have to attack it and you have to deal with your things or whatnot. And then when you don't know what's going on, that's the worst part, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. And then that's just so aggravating, especially during COVID, right? Like I think we mentioned this like the first time where it's like everybody's so selfish where it's like, stay home. I was like, well, motherfucker, some people live by themselves.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like a fact, like when you get in trouble in jail, your punishment is isolation, you know, because you go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And so it becomes weird when like you're looking forward to going to work to speak to someone. You know, like you look forward to go to work so you can have like a human interaction. It's fucking insane. And then all these people, they're actually being selfish of like, cause they're thinking of themselves. It's the same thing with the vaccination thing, right? You get vaccinated, you don't, whatever, right? But the fact that like the argument is like, think of someone else. You're thinking of yourself, man. You're not thinking, you're like, you're thinking of yourself still. That's just like true. When I went to, I don't think I told you this. So I went to the ER like 3 weeks ago. I had this crazy pain on my side. And I was like, what is this? So I'm thinking like, man, maybe I ate something fucked up. Like I had this burrito. I was like, maybe I ate something fucked up. So I go to the bathroom. I try to use the bathroom and like nothing's coming out. And then I'm like, okay, it's not that. And then I go back to work and it's like, man, I'm really uncomfortable. There's like a pain. So I go back to the bathroom and it's getting worse. And I'm like, fuck, what the fuck is this? I was like, could it be my appendix? So I look it up and my appendix is exactly where my pain is at. And I'm like, holy fuck. Okay. Because if this thing bursts, like those toxins, they can kill me, right? And so then I have
what is going on with your body, bro?
Yeah. So then I'm thinking, I'm thinking, do I go to Long Beach? Cause right now I'm in West LA, VA. You don't want to go there. If you're a veteran, I'm sorry. Like, do not go to that one. It's so bad. So then I'm thinking it's like, should I just go all the way to Long Beach? But Long Beach is like 50 minutes away. Or maybe I should go to Cedars. But man, I don't want that.
I hope that's not during the week. Cause at that point, that's like 2 hours.
But it was nighttime. It was 9 p.m.
Oh, okay.
It was like 8:30 p.m. Right. And so then I was like, should I go to Cedars? I don't want that bill, you know? So I was like, well, I'm here. I'm a veteran. Let me go. So I go downstairs. I tell my guy, my employee, I was like, hey man, I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm feeling really like, fuck, I'm in a lot of pain. At this point, I'm starting to glisten. I'm like sweating. I'm like hurting. I tried to walk it off. I did like a few laps in the hospital. So then I go down to the ER. A fucking big mess. They were like, have you been here before? And I was like, no, but I'm registered in Long Beach. They're like, okay, what's your name and your last four?
Wait, but this is a place that you work at?
I work there. I work at a VA, but I don't. That's not my VA.
Oh, gotcha.
My VA is Long Beach.
So they're not just like, oh, hey, Rob, like,
bro. I even had to go through security and they had to pat me down. Like, what the fuck? I'm fucking hurting right now.
You worried? Okay.
I'm like drenched, right? I'm drenched. I'm like sweating. I'm like, so I go to the nurse and I was like, excuse me, and they're like, oh, just a moment, and like she's doing whatever on the computer. I'm like, oh my god, I'm fucking dying. And then like she's like, well, how can I help you? And I tell her, like, I think my appendix, this, that, and the other. And then she asked me the questions, and I was like, no, but I'm registered in Long Beach. And she looks me up. She can't find me. She's like, you're going to have to register. And I was like, I can't do anything right now. I can't do anything right now. Like,
Can't be concentrated.
yeah. And so then it's like, oh, the guy will come out. So the guy comes out. It's this old dude. He goes, here you go, Mr. Santana. You got to fill these forms out. And I was like, I can't write anything. Can you tell me the questions and I'll answer them? And then they were like, he was like, oh, I can't do that. I was like, well, you're going to have to fucking do something. Now I'm losing my shit. You're going to have to do something. And I give him my fucking VA card. So then this fucking ass fucking slams his clipboard on the fucking table. And he's like, Mr. Santana, where's your address? Like he like in a fucking
Condescending.
yeah, condescending moment. Like so then he's taking his time. He answers. They were really easy. He goes to the back, and I'm hurting, man. And now it's getting so bad. Like my pain is so bad, and I'm like, I'm not even in line to be seen. Like I thought to myself, I'm waiting for this old man to fucking register me, and then maybe I'll be in line, you know. So then I remember working there. I've always said to myself that I would never die in this VA. It's so depressing. I was like, I will never die here. So then I was like, I'd rather die in my car, you know. So then I was like, hey, if me not being registered is an issue, let me get my shit. I'm gonna go. I'll take my chances at Long Beach.
So at this point, do you think that you might die?
Yeah, but I figured like if something happens to me in my car, I'm pretty sure the EMTs will do something. Because right now, everybody's lollygagging.
Gotcha.
You know, everybody's lollygagging. They're fucking walking. I'm sure they see crazy shit every day. But I'm fucking hurting, man. And I don't care if you're jaded. I need assistance. And she took my vitals. Like, she could see my blood pressure was up. Like she could see I'm in a lot of pain. Nobody give a fuck, right? I was like, I'd rather die in my fucking car. I don't give a fuck. So I'll give me my shit. So, well, we got to register. Do you help? Shut the fuck up. Give me my shit. So I get my shit. I get in my car. And then I'm like, oh, man, I don't think I'm going to make it 50 minutes. You know? Fuck it. I'm going to Cedars. So I go to Cedars. I'm driving. It was the longest 16 minutes of my life. It was only 16 minutes away, you know? And I'm thinking about running these red lights, but if I get pulled over, it's just going to take more time. I'm thinking about flagging these cops down, you know, like, hey, take me, you know? Anyways, I tough it out. I get to the Cedars.
I love how you say, I tough it out.
I tough it out.
Like, by the way, the thing why it's funny is because like that you like just go over that so quick is the fact that you're at the point where one, you're saying, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die in my car. You're at the point where you're saying, I'm going to run through these red lights. You're at the point where you're saying, hey, maybe I just need to stop and flag cops down. But you're like, whatever, I tough it out. Dude,
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, man.
I was like, well, what would be the fastest way? You know, I'm still thinking what would be the fastest way. So I get there and immediately like, you know, they have an MRN, like everybody has an assigned number and I don't know what my number is, you know? And I was like, fuck, wow. And then, so they just tell me, they asked for my name and like my birthday and they're like, hey, is your address is this? I'm like, yeah. And then, boom, right away. Boom. I get a little, I was like, oh, tight. So then like, cause I had surgery there. So that's why I was like already in the system. And then immediately they take my vitals. Boom. And then like 10 minutes later, they take blood and they ask me for pee, right? Mind you, I still waited. So this is where I talk about, like, this is where I said that long story about think about other people, right? So this is COVID, like 3 weeks. This is literally 3 weeks ago. So we all know about COVID. We all know about like, we don't want the hospitals over flooded, like, you know, this and that, da-da-da. I still wait. Like I got there at 9:30 and I don't get seen till 12:30. And I'm in this fucking crazy, I'm throwing up.
3 hours. Holy shit.
No, like I'm in the bathroom. I'm fucking barfing up. I'm trying to shit. Like, I was like, what is going on? And like, so I'm in this waiting room, bro. I'm in this waiting room. And I'm pacing. I'm in crazy pain. And everybody's there like this.
On their phone checking their Instagram.
Everybody that's in the fucking ER. Everybody, dog. Every fucking body. Everybody's in there. It's cool. They're laughing. They're giggling. They're talking. And I'm in this fucking insane pain. And what it is that I'm in line behind all of them. I'm in line behind all of them. That's a fucking urgent care or doctor's appointment that you got going on. You know, I'm fucking dying, dude. And so then I got to worry about that person. You tell me, think about someone else. Think about someone else. Fuck you, dude.
Interesting.
Think about someone else. Now, everybody, COVID's been around for like 2 years right now, right? So we know not to go to the hospital for nonsense.
Yeah.
We know. Right now, we know not to go to the hospital.
So obviously you're going there for not nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know not to go to the hospital for nonsense. And like, there you are. There you fucking are. I'm fucking dying, dog. And that's why and then whatever, people in the lobby, there's more people in the back. So when I go in the back, I see a fucking shit. I was like, and everybody's just chilling, bro. I see no one. Like, everybody's just like,
that's what's kind of hard too. Like
man, fuck everybody.
Where you know,
everybody,
to kind of go with the COVID thing, it's like, you know, everybody talks about how serious it is, and you see the videos of like, you know, nurses, you know, wearing like, you know, the marks on their masks and stuff, and they're just like, you know, it's just so I'm so overwhelmed and stuff like that. But then you also see videos of nurses doing TikTok videos dancing while this is happening.
There's
right?
mad time in my hospital, I'll tell you that.
So it's like, so you're saying like at the time where you're thinking your appendix is getting a rupture, and you're just like, fuck, somebody help me. There's people just checking their Instagram and stuff like that.
There's people that are there that could have
fucked up, man. But see, like, I don't know, man. Like, that's so anecdotal, and I get it, and that's gonna affect you. But I don't know. Actually, I don't even know how to tell.
Bro,
you.
I'm
anyway,
look,
yeah,
you know,
I get it.
It's not a little hospital, man.
I get it, and that's why like I'm very open to like everybody's story about that stuff, because it's like, if you said like, you know what, like, fucking fuck all this shit, I'm like, well, you know what, like, look at his experience. That's pretty fucked up.
But this is the thing, though.
And so what happened? What happened?
Well, at the end, it turned out to be like a kidney stone. Directly in the same part, because even the doctors were like, "Oh shit, I think it is your appendix," you know?
Yeah.
And then they did like a CT scan, and then they're like, "Good news."
How? Okay, so you got there at 9:30. At what time did you get seen?
12:36. And then they're like, "Good news, it's not your appendix, it's a kidney stone." I was like, "Fuck, I wish it was my appendix. I don't want to fucking pee that bitch out." You know, because it's like giving birth, you know. But
how big is your urethra?
I don't know. So apparently, the pain really is when the kidney stone is transferring from the kidney to like the bladder or whatever the fuck has it. Because like peeing it out is not painful.
Yeah, no, I had when like early in my 20s, like 22 or stuff like that, I had gallstones, and I have never felt pain like that in my life.
Yeah, and it's a serious pain. Like they you know, it's equal to like giving birth or whatever. And so like, nonetheless, it was cool. Like after that, like, all they gave me some like hydrocodone, but I never used it. Right? They gave me ibuprofen, and that was cool. And then like I didn't even know when I pissed it out. You know, but that experience, it showed me like, in the end, everybody's selfish. Even when the person is telling you you're being selfish, it's like you're being selfish because you're not doing what I want you to do. Like they're being selfish, right?
What if the people in front of you had like gunshots or stuff like that? Aren't you being selfish?
If someone in front of me had a gunshot, they're gonna see him before me. You know, like for example, there was a kid that went in, he threw up immediately, and they took him right away. You know, and I didn't have a problem with that, even though I was in extreme pain. A kid that came in after me, he went in there, threw up, and then they took him right away. I don't know what his situation was, but there was an assessment of whatever.
Yeah. You know, I feel like
I didn't even care.
Like,
I was like,
what I would get out of that, it's not even so much like people are selfish and stuff like that. What I would get out of the fact is the fact that, hey, you know what? Maybe the things that we think are a big deal are probably not that big of a deal, because life is very fragile. And even though like for you, it was like, hey, there's something going on, because I'm sure you've never experienced that before. Somebody help me. And they're like, well, we have other people.
And at the same time,
that's just
how
life is, dude.
I felt like at the same time, if it was on my left side, I think I'd be easier, right? Because it was on my right side. I'm thinking it's my appendix. I was like, okay, I can die. But if I knew I don't know how you would know. If I knew it was a kidney stone, I'd be less worried.
Right.
And just suck it up. And even like, because your mind is so powerful, like, you know, like when you're running.
With the fact that if it would have been on the other side, you would have been like more at ease.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like when you're running, right? And then you're not going to die running. You know, your body's gonna stop before you know, but it's your mind. You're like, oh, I can't do it. I'll just stop. Like, listen up. You're not gonna die because one, your body will fucking stop you. You're like, hey, boom, boom.
But Rob, like that's the whole thing. Like I said, like life is very fragile. Let's say, I mean, you were lucky enough to get that while you were at work, which there was a hospital.
Not gonna get taken.
You know, and you were next to Cedars-Sinai. Let's say we had gone camping, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I would take out of it, which is like, hey, life is very fragile. Me personally, I know it was a shitty moment. I'd be like, thank God when this happened, I was actually at a place that somebody could help me. I know it was delayed.
Oh man, I wasn't bitter at all. I was happy that I went to Cedars. I'm not bitter about it, but it gave me a perspective. I was like, listen up, man. You're acting like I gotta worry about people that don't worry about me. Mm-hmm. Like, look at your fucking Instagram posts and talk about guys that don't care about you or whatever the fuck it is. You know, look at your Instagram posts and you're talking about guys that don't care about you. Do you, boo, you're a queen, whatever the fuck it is, or all that nonsense. Like, it's the same fucking thing, dude. And the worst part about it is that you can't even have a conversation because everybody argues with you with like anger and like, and it's just immediate name calling, immediate like, you're the devil, or like, you know, it's like, hey, listen to what I gotta say. Look into my reasoning, you know? This is my reasoning. I don't do this and that because
But it's by design, Rob.
Yeah.
It's by design.
Absolutely.
And saying that, you know what? So want to try this new thing out.
Okay.
Which is called In the News.
Oh shit.
Right? All right. So why don't we take a break? Let's get another refill. And you know, let's talk about like some news stories that happened this week.
Okay.
I don't want to do it like, well, some of it might be COVID related, but I try to not do COVID. Afghanistan, I'm sure you've done enough of that. But yeah, let's do some in the news this week and let's talk about it. Cool?
All right. Cool.
All right, man. Let's fucking have a drink. All right. And welcome to our news segment called In the News.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Well, we revisit news stories from the week or maybe the month. I don't know. That you may have missed. I may not be on CNN. They may not be on Fox. Or may not be on BBC. All right, Rob. So I'm going to go a couple of news stories and then, like, you know, we'll just talk about it.
All right, let's do it.
All right. I picked this one specifically because of your hometown. Oh. And so I'm going to read the whole thing. Okay. Just be patient.
All
right. All right. And for the podcast, I'll put, like, the articles and, like, the pictures and stuff like that. The headline says this. Las Vegas trio allegedly used blowtorch to torture man for several hours before forcing him to strip naked and walk off a cliff. What race do you think these people are?
That sounds like white people.
Ha! I won't reveal it, but it's good to know where your bias is at, which is actually, you know what's so funny? I want to make another thing. Okay, actually, I'll save it for another time. All right, let me read the story, okay?
Sounds like meth.
A trio of Las Vegas residents were arrested earlier in August after police said that they kidnapped a 27-year-old, Roy Jaggers, savagely tortured him for several hours using a variety of weapons, including blowtorch, forced him to strip naked and walk off a cliff, then shot him. The NYE County Sheriff Office announced. Sheriff Captain David Berchowitz said that the Jaggers' neighbor, Heather Pate's boyfriend Kevin Dent, and Brad Mann, Pate's friend and previous lover, there's a lot going on there. Yeah, had all been taken into custody and charged with murder, kidnapping, conspiracy to commit murder, and battery with substantial bodily harm in connection with his death. Years. According to Berchowitz, Pate and Dent lured Jaggers to the Pate's home where they beat and handcuffed him because they believe that he harmed Pate's young son.
Oh, almost.
Okay. They then threw him in the back of a car and drove him out to a remote area in the NYE County where they tortured him over multiple hours utilizing numerous different weapons, authorities say. The Las Vegas Review Journal reported that the trio allegedly tortured Jaggers with blowtorch, axe, baton, and knives. Berchowitz said that they finished torturing Jaggers. When they finished torturing Jaggers, they allegedly drove him approximately 25 miles to Cathedral Canyon, where they forced him to strip naked and walk off a cliff. After he landed in the gorge, Mann is accused of using a firearm to shoot him multiple times, ultimately killing him.
Just to make sure, yeah.
So basically, he walked off, went, "Whoa,
Yeah.
I regret nothing." Plug, 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 plug. And then the guy shot him
Yeah.
a couple of times. Jagger's body was discovered by an identified man in early morning hours of August 1st, who then called 911. Jagger's body was identified by his fingerprints. Peyton and men were all arrested within 36 hours of the victim being discovered.
Fast.
That's weird. How did they discover it? Let's see. Men's Court of Eternity is offering the death penalty. All right, let's see where this gets good.
It gets better.
All right, the Review Journal also spoke briefly with the Jaggers' parents. Although the couple refused to talk about the specifics of their son's grisly murder, his mother, Cassie Robinson, told the outlet that she knew her son would occasionally babysit Pete's children and look after her dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the guy that got murdered would babysit the kids and babysit the dogs. She said she did not know Pete very well. That's the parents.
Yeah, of the guy that died. Right?
Yeah. So the parents said she did not know Pete very well, but emphasized that she knew her son well enough that he did not harm Pete's children. How do you... Okay.
You don't know at that point.
I know exactly what he was like, what he's capable of, and what he's not capable of. Roy's father, Jerry Jagger, said he was still in shock about the entire ordeal. How can you do that to another human being? He said alleged horrific torture his son endured. It's a whole bunch of court stuff. Oh, check this out. See, I told you it got better. There are video recordings of the crimes being committed. And as disturbing as that is, it is much more disturbing that in one video recording, the children are seen entering the room while the defendant mother and her co-criminal defendants were committing various physical criminal acts against the deceased criminal action.
Okay.
The three alleged culprits are being held at NYE County Detention Center without bail. And it's scheduled to appear for a preliminary hearing on Thursday. There's a whole lot in that story, right?
Well, where's NYE? Because that's not Vegas. It's Clark County's Vegas.
I don't know. It's probably some remote place in Nevada, probably, right? I don't know. But to me, it's like, okay, this sounds like a bunch of people.
Also, my hometown is Chicago, not Vegas. Although Vegas is my second home.
But you live there. So here's the thing. Everything was just like, these people are a bunch of psychopaths.
Yeah, but then when you've heard...
Until you hear
and then
that
it's like,
this person harmed these people's kids.
If it's true, for example...
Let's say it wasn't true, though.
Oh,
but even if you think...
It was like that movie, Mystic River.
I've never seen it.
Good one. You should watch it. It's old.
Who's it with?
With Kevin Bacon.
It's old, right? Yeah.
Kevin Bacon and Tim Robbins. And
Here's the thing. If you think that somebody's... It doesn't say how old their kid is, but it looks like they're little. The fact that they were witnessing what was going on. I mean, I know a lot of parents that I think any parent, right? If somebody's harming your kid, who knows what you're capable of?
Bro, it's out the window. Everything's out the window.
Right?
But then what sucks is that because you don't think about... Okay, there's things... Right? Okay, I'm older now. Right? I'm older now, and I think about repercussions. A quick example is 2 months ago, I go to Little Caesars and there's like a homeless guy in front of the door. I was like, all right, Here we go. It's LA, right? All right, here we go, homeless guy. And he's got his shirt off. He's got like all these crazy like markings on his back, like scars, not markings like tattoos. Like,
was he Jesus?
I don't know. He had like
reincarnated.
I don't know what the fuck was going on.
By the way, cheers.
Cheers.
We got a new drink. Yeah.
He was pretty disgusting, right? He was a homeless dude. Whatever. So I was like, here we go. I go on. He doesn't ask me for anything. So I go on. I get my pizza. And as soon as I walk out, he starts like gibbering, like he's not even speaking English. He's like da 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 da, right?
Because he's Jesus, bro.
He's on the floor. He's sitting down on the floor, and I'm like, nah, man, like excuse me, like no. And he goes, and he just spits in my face, and he's like, now he's
in your face,
yeah. And then he's like, fuck you, mother. He goes, fuck you, motherfucker. And I was like, what the fuck? And I got my pizza, right? And I'm like, And then like everything's close. Like my car's right there. And I'm like, oh my God. So I go to my car, I put the pizza in. He said, yeah, get in your motherfucking car. And right there, I was like, all right, here we go. Here it is. I'm about to fuck this guy up. But then it's like, man, when I punch this dude, my skin is going to open because I'm going to punch him so hard. And like, I'm going to get whatever AIDS he's got.
You're so stupid.
So then I'm like, it's all good. I'm gonna kick the shit out of it. I've done the kickboxing, and I was like, I'm gonna kick him, but I got flip flops on, and I was like, bro. Then when my skin opens, I got whatever AIDS he's got, right?
COVID. COVID.
I don't give a fuck about that shit. And so then I'm like, all right, here I'm gonna get my flashlight out of my car, and I'm gonna beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, man, if he dies, I still go to jail for killing a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's a worthless human. I guess I'll just go take a shower.
Yeah.
But man,
you capitalist fuck.
But guess what, man?
Yeah.
For 5 days, dog. 5 days that bothered me. I was like, there's no way. There's a fucking guy out there.
Like say he spit in Robert Santana's face.
And obviously I know where he lives. Clearly I know where he lives. And it took me 5 days, man. And it's about like where you are in your life. If it was a young man, if it was young Rob, for sure, it was on. And then like I deal with it later when I go to the hospital and I got some whatever.
Rob, well, I want to tell you, you did the right thing. Why? Because now, especially after you told me all that, I really do believe that he was Jesus. And it was a test. And it was a test and you passed it. You know what? Because yes, Mr. Fighter and all this stuff, you could have very easily did a number or two on him. But you know what? You turned the other cheek, you motherfucker. See? You passed the test.
Bro, it hurt me so bad, dude.
I know, but that's the point. It's called
it still
humility.
bothers me when I bring it up.
What does this have to do with those people torturing that guy?
It's about decisions about, like, you heard about something happened to your son or daughter or whatever.
Oh, whether you turn the other way or whether
do
you do something.
Let the authorities handle it, or do you do what you do, craziness, and think about the repercussions?
Here's my thing, right? If I'm that guy and I didn't do anything, the fuck I'm going to walk off that cliff. You're going to have to shoot me. Why? Because at this point, I know that you're telling me that I need to die. Fuck you. I'm going to try to wrestle you. I'm going to try to fight you because I didn't do this.
Yeah. And like when I was a Marine, they started coming out with this after I came back from Iraq. And then, so now it's like when I came back from Iraq, it was like the war against the country of Iraq is over, but now it's a war against Taliban. And so then Taliban would like kidnap. It was always like an army guy. It was never like a Marine. And they would kidnap him, and then like the
army guy would always get kidnapped. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not.
Oh,
that.
okay.
It's just that they would read whatever.
I was gonna say shots fired.
Well, they would read whatever the Taliban wanted them to say. He whatever pleading. I can't remember.
The army guy would always read.
He would read, and then they would.
But you're saying the army guy was always the one to get captured that would read that?
No, because the Marine would just find the Marine dead. Right, so it's different. They would find the Marine dead. There was never a video. You're not gonna sit there and like, all right, I'll do whatever you say. Like, you're gonna have to kill me, dude.
I love this.
You're gonna have to fucking kill me
with you and an army guy.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I'm not the toughest guy in the world, right?
You guys are gonna make out, at the end
but
of
yeah. So I love the thing is, they would read that, and then they would show like the guy, like they would show him sawing off the neck, killed it. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, then I said to myself, what was the point of you? Lack of a better word,
just shoot yourself.
Bitching out,
just shoot yourself.
Bitching out. I was like, okay, I'll do what you say, right? And then knowing that you're gonna die, right? Yeah. If I know I'm gonna die, it's like, let's go. I'm not gonna make it easy for you. There's no way everything's set up like this shit, and everybody's calm. It's going down. Everybody die with me. Yeah. Like I'm taking something with better. I'm taking somebody with me. Like, fuck you.
All right, let's go with something a little bit more lighthearted. Also in the news this week, McDonald's mascot Grimace is what now?
Oh my God.
All right, so you and I both grew up with Grimace. You know what he is.
The purple blob thing.
Yeah, the purple blob thing. All right. I'm going to spare you this whole longest article, which is on Grimace. But here's a great question. So what is Grimace?
I never knew what he was. I just figured it was a cartoon.
So most people,
Gender wise?
no,
okay.
just like it's a purple thing, but
Yeah.
what is that thing?
Like a goober.
Yeah. So a lot of people are just like, oh, he's just like a hamburger monster. He's just like this monster that likes to eat burgers.
That makes sense.
Right?
I never even like put it in my mind. What is he?
Yes, that's what most people think, right? But McDonald's put out a tweet. Guess what he is?
Like a worm? I don't know.
Nope. You get 3 chances.
Okay, so
Worm 1.
So I'm gonna put that with parasite.
I'll tell you this: he's not a monster.
No, he's not a monster.
All right, so you get two more guesses.
I'm gonna go with. Holy shit, man! I don't know what he is. Is he a mammal? So, at least a mammal?
I'll say could be part of a mammal.
You know what it is? It's because I'm an 80s kid and Muppets don't have, like, you don't know what a Muppet is.
Well, he is something. Can I tell you what it is?
What is it? What is it?
A taste bud.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a fucking taste bud. How high were they?
Yeah.
When they decided to make.
I can't deny, like, that's,
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it.
Why would he have that voice then?
Do taste buds have voice? Rob,
I think it would be higher than that deep, like, Eeyore voice.
So okay, next story. This is from NPR. Well, actually, besides NPR, they a lot of people have posted this story. It's about China.
Okay.
And what they're doing.
Okay.
And we have 2 stories about China.
Let's do it.
One of them is China bans effeminate men from TV.
Oh my God, I saw that.
So let me read just a little bit,
Yeah.
just so you have some context.
I saw that. They want to promote masculinity.
China's government banned effeminate men on TV and told broadcasters Thursday to promote revolutionary culture, broadening a campaign to tighten control over business and society and enforce official morality. President Xi Jinping has called for national rejuvenation with tighter Communist Party control business, education, culture, and religion. Companies and public are under increasing pressure to align its own vision, more powerful China and healthier society. So basically, they feel that having effeminate men on TV is counter to what they want in culture, right? And specifically, like K-pop, right? So like when you look at South Korea and like the K-pop thing, it's very like effeminate, like rings, like
is it?
earrings, like
I didn't know. I thought it was like I thought it was like a boy band thing, like.
Yeah, but that's kind of like imagine like a lot of people think they're hot, right?
Okay, yeah.
And a lot of guys, since people think that's hot, a lot of guys want to look a little bit more feminine.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we went through with the whole metrosexual look and stuff here in the early 2000s, stuff like that. What do you think about China banning something like that? Because I wonder, would they allow you with your earrings? Don't you think that's feminine?
It is, but it's about the men the guys, the males that look feminine, right? That's going effeminate. They're being effeminate.
Yeah, but for some people, earrings would be feminine.
Yeah. But then you got like kings in Africa with all types of jewelry, right? And that's very like power is whatever the fuck you want,
Not cute diamond earrings though.
No, because that's what the culture is today. I can't wear a fucking big old fucking. Wait, they wear hoop earrings. I'm not gonna wear hoop earrings.
I'm just fucking with you. I'm just saying you might be a decorator.
No, but like how do I feel about it? I'm okay with whatever it is that they're trying to promote, because in the end, nobody knows like the psychology of people, especially that culture, right? I don't know that culture. I don't know what it is. And then like if they're afraid that they're promoting men to be effeminate and then there's not going to be enough masculinity to protect. I don't know what it is, right? Whatever it is that they're doing, if they feel that that's what it is,
Are you one of those people that says like, hey, whatever they do in that country, that's their business?
It's not, that and the sense, unless there's like a morality thing where it affects your life negatively, right? Because you could say, oh, what if I'm, you know, this, that, and the other. If I live my life this way and they're telling me I can't, I was like, well, you know what? Number one, that's China and that's communist, and they run it that way. And if you want to like live differently, then come over here, right? But you know, at the same time, I am against pushing a certain thing down your throat, right? Like, I am against, like, for example, pushing sexuality to young people. Like, let them discover that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let them discover it, however. But when you
like organically, and stuff like that.
But like when you promote like masculinity or homosexuality, like, you know,
anything.
Like when you promote something hard, as a kid, you're gonna accept. Like, I remember being a kid and like loving Wu-Tang so much that I wanted to be Muslim just because of Wu-Tang.
How old are you? Were you a kid listening to Wu-Tang?
Well, like 13, 14, right?
Oh, okay.
14 years old, right? Like 14 years old. And I loved the Wu-Tang so much. And there was like, I think Wu-Tang Forever came out, and it's like, you know, and they started talking about Muslim and this and that. And I wanted to be Muslim because of Wu-Tang. I didn't give a fuck. I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Right? And at this time, 14 is kind of like older, you know, like I'm a teenager. And they're right for thinking that maybe you're, you know, like,
I get it. But for me, I think it's part of a bigger thing.
Probably.
And here's the thing.
There's always like reasons.
Let's go to the next story. And this is where I'll tie in the whole thing where I think it's probably of a bigger thing, right?
Okay.
The next headline from CNS Business. China bans kids from playing online video games during the week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me read a little bit just so people get context. China has barred online games under the age of 18. So if you're under the age of 18, from playing on weekdays, and limited their play just to 3 hours on most weekends, marking significant escalation restrictions on the country's massive gaming industry. Starting this week, minors will be allowed only an hour of play between 8 and 9 p.m. on Friday, weekends, and public holidays, according to the statement of the Chinese media. So basically, if you're under 18, you could only play video games for a few hours on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that's it. All right? So how I was saying that this was tying together is that they're saying, hey, youth, no video games. Hey, youth, no trying to like mimic K-pop. Because they have probably more influence than like Western, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then also there's another story about their crackdown on influencers, that they view influencers as a cancer.
I can see that. I can see that.
So anyway, so the thing is that you have people like saying, hey, video games, hey, stop. Looking feminine, stop. TikTokers, you know, stop. And you have the U.S. kind of doing the opposite, where they're like promote
extremely opposite,
where they're like promote all of these things, right? So it's like this counterculture between what we do, Western culture and Eastern culture, or at least China, right? I feel like I'm not sure if they're doing it on purpose. If like, well, if the U.S. is like saying like promoting YouTubers and all this and all that, well, let's counter that, right?
Okay.
Where it's like a lot of things that you said today, right? I know you as a person. You're fucking great. You're awesome. You're like one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. But you're down to punch a homeless dude, right? If you said that to most people, that you're down to punch a homeless dude, even though they spit in your face, they'd be like, you're such a fucking toxic male piece of shit.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You're a toxic male piece of shit. How dare you? You don't understand. Like,
I actually had a friend be like, it's not a big deal. I was like, it's not a big deal. If they spit in my fucking eyeball and he had a sore in his mouth, I get fucking AIDS.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I know. I know you're like trolling about the AIDS stuff, but besides that, it's just like you shouldn't get
tuberculosis,
whatever.
Hepatitis,
Yeah, hepatitis. But anyway, but the fact is that it seems like there's a line being drawn between the two, right? Where it's like, hey, yeah, and I feel that it's more so that China can get more power with themselves, because what they will do is they'll be like, look what the West is doing, right? Where like you'll find tweets, right, that say like, hey, I'm a fucking vegan, but that doesn't mean I can't eat meat, motherfucker. Like, you can't tell me what the fuck, you know? I can be a vegan and eat meat too.
That's crazy.
Don't fucking mansplain shit to me, right?
Oh, it's always mansplaining. When
well, I mean, like, it's just vocabulary, right?
Yeah.
And you have so much of that thing, and you have a country that protects their culture so much. For whatever reason, I personally believe that it's just to hold power. Where they're just kind of like doing these things so that they can maintain power, and kind of embarrass kind of what's going on in the U.S.
Yeah, in the U.S., right?
You know,
that makes sense, right? Like, hey, this is what we're doing. Look at what you guys are doing, right? Man, all these
because what ends up happening is like, look, the U.S. is weak. They're fighting fighting amongst themselves.
Hardcore.
Apparently, they're all racist. They can't get along. Are abortions allowed in China? I don't even know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
The fuck? Well,
I'm gonna say probably not.
It should be, right? Because if you can only have two, and then you have to decide, right?
I don't think that's.
It's not a thing no more.
No, I don't think that's going on.
Oh. Because that was a big deal, wasn't it? Like, you can only have two. And so it's like,
and it's got to be a boy.
It's got to be a boy.
Yeah. But what's crazy is that, like, we have this constant culture war now that's happening. And
it's so annoying.
Yeah. Like,
it's fucking annoying. Like, nothing that anybody does is correct. And why is there people like, they're in the right, you know? What in the world? I'm sorry. The cancel culture, it attacks whoever it wants to. And it's like, I feel like it's like an entity. There's like, it has to be one person. It has to be like a base, right? Because there's certain things that are insulting that are accepted, and there's other things that are insulting that is not.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. Like, for me, I just want people to be free to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, and then especially with comedy.
Dude, if you want to,
comedy's tough, dude.
Okay, I don't care about comedy. I'm talking about like real life people. And like, dude, if you want to be effeminate, if you want to play video games all fucking day long,
yeah, do what you do. That's not cancel culture. That's the government.
No, but here's the thing. Like, what China looks at it is like, because I look at it that way. It's like, be whatever you want. Be, you know, if you want to die playing video games, fuck it. That's your life. Like, nobody's in charge of that. Nobody can take that away from you. Like, you are born and you're going to be born and you're going to die. However you decide to spend that, as long as you're not fucking like killing people or harming people, I don't give a shit. Right? If you are, you know, if you want to put yourself with makeup and all that stuff and you're a guy, whatever, fuck yeah.
I don't fucking
whatever
care.
Makes you happy, that's fucking great.
Fucking doesn't bother me.
What bothers me is the fact that, like,
don't make me think.
But here's the problem though. The problem is that there's countries like China that now are banning that stuff, right? And as fucked up as that is, it's like, well, I don't know. Like, if you live in Iraq, if you live in all these countries, like, I don't know what I can do about it, basically. You know what I mean? Like, what am I to do? Am I, like, I can just be like, yeah, this is fucked up, but is that going to change anything? Maybe, do the people that live there, do they want that? Do they see video games as a problem? Do they see people being effeminate a problem? If most of the people that live there feel that, like, I don't know how I can stop that. Even though I may feel different, how do I stop that? How do I make a change out of that? Kind of like with the whole like, Texas abortion thing. It's like, that's I get it because like in California, right? Like I find it crazy.
Yeah, that's.
But here's the thing, right? In California, it's like you have all these things like that are controversial, like critical race theory, or like there's this new law, AB something like for the school district, which basically means like even if you don't have enough credits to graduate because of this new law, you can just graduate, right? I don't know. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. Basically,
in Texas?
No, in California. There's a whole bunch of California stuff, right? That doesn't apply to most of the other country. That's just being in California, right? So Texas, like, they do open carry. Obviously, if you hate open carry because you're afraid that you're in a restaurant and somebody has a gun on their buckle, you're probably not going to want to move there, right? So
that fucking curves your fucking actions.
Yeah.
You know
so
what I'm
like
saying? Maybe I want to have a conversation. See, that's the problem, right? Because today you can have fucking arguments and you could be concerned as like for me, right? I don't have weapons. I can fight you if you want to fight, but I never know what that guy, what he has, right?
Yeah.
So then in Texas, like, oh man, maybe I'll have a conversation. Because motherfuckers here, especially like, lack of a better word, like if you're going to bitch out, they're just going to want to shoot you, right?
Yeah.
You know?
But I don't think that happens though, because when you know that
here?
maybe the next
Fuck
no
yeah,
over there, no over there, like
no, it doesn't happen like that over there, because I was like, guess what? Like, I mean, obviously the culture is different, and the simple fact of like reaching for your weapon is like a different it's a different reason, right? Like reaching for my weapon is like my life is in danger, rather than I'm reaching for my weapon because I'm being punked.
Yeah, I think what's happening is that people now are being more exposed to the fact that different people in different places have different beliefs, right? Mm-hmm. Where, imagine being a gay person in Oklahoma, probably not the most ideal place on the planet to be gay, right? So what's your move? You want to move to LA, New York, like one of those cities, right? I think that's probably what's going to happen with the whole abortion thing, right? Where it's just like, hey, I don't like this. I disagree with this. Who knows if that's going to change? But instead, then I'd rather move to a place that does allow it.
Well, that's very.
So I wonder if that's what's going to become of it. Where it's just like gun laws, just like a lot of these things.
Well,
like
Cali people are moving to Texas.
Yeah.
Cali people moving to Texas, right? Because I don't like what you're doing.
I wonder if that's what it is. Which is like, holy shit, so many Californians are moving here. Let's do some crazy shit.
It's a lot.
Because, dude, I'm very open to a lot of things. I'm very tolerant to a lot of things. But I'm just like, that's pretty fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
I agree with you, man. Because I'm very like, if I had to choose a side, I'm very non-liberal, right?
Yeah.
But that's not cool. You know, it's like,
well, I think no, you're actually very liberal. You're just not far left.
You know,
and that's a difference.
Oh yeah, I'm like, dude, I don't know about that, man. Yeah. But if that's a ploy to get the Californians out, then I commend you, because I can see your way of life dramatically changing on a day-to-day basis.
They're trying to keep their fucking property rates down. I visited my buddy in Texas, and they just opened up a boba shop.
Oh, okay.
Called Bliss Tea up in I forget where it's at. I just know it's by Houston. But anyway, so the realtor, because they had to sign the papers for it, she's like, "Oh, like you're from because they announced me from California." I was like, "Ugh." And they're like, "Oh, are you moving here too? What are you doing? Like, you have $1 million, you're gonna buy like 8 houses. What are you doing here?" Like, very snippy.
Yeah. Because you're gonna change their life, bro. You're gonna change their day-to-day life.
I was like, no, like da da da. This is not.
I get it, man. I totally get it.
And then she was just like, you have no idea. All these people from California coming over here, and they sell their house in California, which is, worth 800,000, 900,000, and our houses are 250, 350. For like a family house, 4
Yeah,
bedrooms,
my buddy's got like
pool.
3. I was like, what the fuck?
And she was like, people are pissed because not only like do you bring whatever you brought with you, but it's like now people that just want to buy a house, now it's more expensive because you're making it more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if a lot of it is part of that too.
I wouldn't be mad if it is, because I get it, man. I fucking get it. It's the same thing in an inner city, like gentrification. It's the same fucking shit. Now it's that fucking state, the gentrification of a state, where it's like it's always gonna be a person with more money to come in and change your shit, to make it different and change your way of life and your culture and what you can do or say. And I get it, man. I fucking get it. And I've been to Texas and I fucking love it and I like how it is. Please don't change it, you guys. Don't fucking change it. I don't care.
Yeah, and it could be just like one of those things where it's like, hey, it could be it's like little outline, like, hey, if you want to roll that way, you can roll that way. But if not, like,
don't demand. Don't demand that something has to change because you want to live it. Like how it is. I feel like people that move somewhere like that you move somewhere like that because you like it. Therefore, you should conform to it, right? So don't demand.
Yeah, but the problem is, Rob, is that we're kind of saying that all of Texas is like that when it's not, right? Like there's definitely like a lot of places where they're like, hey, like I want to have that option.
Of what? What do you mean? Oh,
like
the abortion thing? I don't know. I'm not off that.
And they may not have the resources to be able to move. You know
I'm talking about all encompassing, like all together.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that abortion thing is crazy. I'm not.
All right, here. Okay, the next story of Gunnison, how you feel about it. I'm just kidding. I don't want to go there. It's stupid. I'm over it. Because it's all a sham. It's all by design, Rob.
Yeah.
It was everything. I know so many people in the service that were like, yeah, as soon as we dropped out, that's exactly what was going to happen. It was all a sham. Sorry for everybody that fucking lost their lives.
Absolutely.
Like,
that sucks. Because you know what? That's what I hate about government altogether is like, it's always a numbers and not like, it's not a thing about humanity like they always promote it, right? Yeah. They always promote it's about humanity. They never care. It's always about statistics, numbers, and what how it looks on paper. It's all they care about.
Once you start thinking about the government as a corporation, it changes things. It's about the bottom line. But here you go. Let's go to the next story. Yeah. Oscar De La Hoya. You know about this? Oscar De La Hoya withdraws from comeback bout as he fights COVID-19 infection. Not only that, they put a picture of him in a fucking hospital. Bro, what's up with that?
He did the video, bro. He did a video.
Yeah.
He did it. Estoy bien mal. Like he went full Charlie's Angels, full throttle.
He went full like, I didn't get vaccinated. Bro, this is not a joke. But I do have a question though about this because we're kind of seeing this more and more where the whole Delta stuff and
he's also got a lot of mental health issues and like drug abuse problems. So that's like another outlier.
Yeah. So, but like, okay, like let's say Joe Rogan. That's another big part of the news.
And how was his fucking announcement? A lot different.
Yeah. So what do you think it is? Like, do you think that Oscar De La Hoya getting COVID? Do you think this is more like clout? Like, hey, like
I don't know about that guy, bro. He does a lot of weird things.
Do you know if he still trains and stuff like that, or
Oscar De La Hoya absolutely trains.
He was about to be in a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's a lot of weirdness with him. Like, there's a lot of fighters under his promotion. They're like, this fucking guy, like, it's never been like, oh, Oscar's a stand-up guy.
No, my problem is that, like, so before that, right, all we heard is, like, hey, don't worry. The chance of if you're healthy within this age range, you're going to be fine for the most part. It's very little people that are actually going to be affected by COVID. And then you saw the NFL, right? The NFL
I fucking hate what they're
You saw
doing.
people like last
hate what
season
they're doing.
get the NFL. They're like, hey, I got COVID, but I'm good the next day. What the fuck?
No. The NFL, they have this fucking stupid shit where like.
I don't know, but the athletes themselves, when they got COVID,
Oh yeah, they're
the
fine,
next day
right? But you're forbidden.
But now you're seeing people like Oscar De La Hoya who was training.
But he's not a super athlete, man. He's like 50 something. Right? He's not a super athlete. These super athletes, look at this. What's happening, right? Like in NFL, which is stupid to me, right? Which is like vaccinated people get tested this many times, and unvaccinated people get tested times two.
But here,
And
sure.
Math wise, you're gonna have a bad number. Math wise, any fucking scientist or mathematician that tells you that like, hey, if you're gonna test this group that much more, the probability is gonna go higher regardless, right? And it's been proven that the other group, it doesn't matter. They're not immune.
Yeah, but the thing is that it goes against like kind of like the things that we have heard for so long, which is like, hey, if you have a immune compromised system, right? So it's like Oscar De La Hoya doesn't have cancer. Oscar De La Hoya isn't obese. He doesn't have
He's
diabetes.
not obese, but
right?
he's older and he does drugs. And he has mental health issues because of the.
I don't think mental health issues are a problem with COVID.
Well, the problem of the way he has exactly.
Okay.
Why would you fucking like, bro? That fucking guy. I'm not gonna get into like weirdness.
Because of all this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's really interesting what's happening where it's like, I don't know, like even anecdotally, I feel that there's people that I feel shouldn't have had COVID that hard that now are getting COVID pretty hard. So for Oscar De La Hoya, like so you think like he's just being, mind you, he's a promoter. Do you think it's just, what's that called?
Well, we don't know his fucking health history though either. Like, we don't know. He doesn't have to tell us anything. He doesn't have to tell us what, like, underlying issue he has. All right. That's me assuming that he's really fucked up and da-da-da-da. Or maybe he's not fucked up. Or maybe he got hit hard. That one person that's famous, it doesn't...
So you think he didn't want to fight or what?
That other guy is a beast. But it's a boxing match. So Oscar he's comfortable with it, you know? See, things like that, I never take into account about... I never like put it into my life like, oh, this is what like because this guy X, Y, and Z.
It's really weird, you know? Because like I have friends that are fat as fuck and ugly.
That matters.
And they don't get COVID. And then I have friends that are
I'm in danger.
That are very good looking, not fat, not diabetic, no thing, and they get COVID and it sucks for them for like 2 weeks. So I don't know.
Well, it's always different, right? It's different with everybody. That's why, like, I don't feel like this mandate is right because everybody's different, and then you're mandating it for a smaller group of people, you know. And then I say a smaller group because there's not enough research of, you know, like for results to say, hey, this group is this and this group is that, and it's just like assumptions. And I think it's really weird. I think it's really, look, this is another thing. I think this is really weird that like most companies have you have to get vaccinated by October 4th thing.
Thank God.
And then there's like a recall that's happening. And even if he loses,
let it go on the record that I think that anybody that doesn't get vaccinated should be shot in the back of the head to make the human species go forward.
And look,
overlords, yes.
And look, and so then if the recall happens and Gavin Newsom loses, regardless if he loses, like the next governor is not going to be in like mandates of whatnot. By October 4th, it's still going to happen. Whatever they want to happen is going to happen.
Bro, what's happening in Australia? That's wild.
That is crazy. I would, oh man, I would lose it.
Look, here's the thing. I was okay with people not leaving. I was okay with people being arrested. Yeah. Being arrested for leaving. I was okay with people having their kids removed from their custody because a person left. I was totally okay with that. Where I had a problem was when they started killing all their dogs in the shelter.
No way, I didn't know that.
What?
No.
Yes. So let's say my little Cody ran away.
Oh my God. The most innocent creatures in the world.
And I was like, oh, hey, my dog ran away and he was in the shelter. They're like, no, we have to kill him because it's going to incentivize you to leave your house to go get him.
Bro.
So it was okay until the dogs.
Dude, that's fucking stupid shit, dog.
And like, look, quarantine camps, totally okay with it. But once you kill the dogs, yeah, like, dude, if you may have COVID, yes, you need to go in a tent. You need to be given take off your clothes and be given
like a
outfit
hard
to
shower.
wear, and stay there and don't leave there. You need to be given meals of gruel. Oh, I was totally okay with that. But once you kill the dogs, I have a problem. I was totally okay with.
Maybe they have a lot of wild dogs.
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like they do have a lot of wild dogs.
I think you're. Well, I don't know. I live in America. Like, we don't do that
I feel
shit.
like, I think that's
you know what's so funny? One of my friends, she said this. When they were talking about the whole homeless thing and stuff like that. You know, California's done, right? This is the measure. And this is a very good measure because we're from Latin American countries, right? And this is a good measure. Homeless people, whatever, right? You know, California is done once we have stray dogs running around everywhere.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be the tell.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the tell.
Well, you know what? I just got a $163 ticket for like a meter.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah,
You left it there for like
163.
44 days or what?
No, I was there for 10 minutes. I was picking up my food, and 163, and then you have like right next to it, you have all these fucking tents with shit ton of like. I just don't fucking understand because I understand that the homeless people are claiming that this is a public whatever. Well, if where I'm parking is not a public place, why would I get fined?
I like hanging out with homeless people. They're fun.
Oh, bro, dude.
I will tell you this.
Homeless people
I've been offered more booze and more drugs from homeless people than any of my good friends.
Did they ever give you it though?
Yeah. I party with homeless people all the time.
God, I fucking hate
Not
them,
all the
dude.
time, but occasionally.
They don't stop bothering me, bro. Like when I get off the highway.
I know you have to hang out with them.
Oof.
All right. You know what? Let's end this on a funny note, on a happy note, right? Because this is called Across the Bar. All right. So here's the thing. This is the world's most favorite beer, new data says. All right. Worldwide.
Corona.
So here's the thing. Worldwide, what is the most popular beer based on searches? Right?
Oh, by searches. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Top 5. No, top 6. All right. What do you think number 6 is?
Heineken. No?
Yeah, it is Heineken.
Oh, shit, it is. Tight. Heineken. All right.
All right, what's number 5?
Hey, it has to be Corona.
No. So number 5, Asahi.
Budweiser.
Asahi.
Ooh, I like Asahi.
Yeah, it's great.
I like Asahi.
All right, number 4. Yeah, that was number 5. Number 4. Number 5 beer. No, number 4 beer.
Number 4. Oh, you want
me
to...
what's number 4 beer?
Number 4? Coors.
Nope.
Bud Light.
Nope. Kingfisher. An Indian beer.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't
Sounds very English, though.
Yeah, it does. Well, they have a big English influence.
All right. Number 3 beer. Most popular beer. Number 3.
Truly.
Nope. Modelo time.
Oh, shit. Good for them.
A lot of Mexicans.
Good for them. Well, good for them. Well, because it's America's thing. Yeah.
All right. And the number 2 beer is...
Number 2? It can't be Dos Equis.
No, it's not.
Okay. Jaeger.
What the fuck is that?
It's a German beer. I just
No,
thought maybe,
not at all. The number 2 beer is Sapporo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Number
one, the most searched beer in the world is.
Budweiser.
Hold on, drum roll.
Budweiser.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right. So the number one most searched beer in the world. By the way, I'm not sure if it's because of the name, but I just want to let you know that the number one beer in the world is what you're about to drink right now. Corona. Wah, wah, wah.
We need a Mexican like.
Oh, wait, I think I may have that, but I don't know.
You need to add that in.
No, I do have that. Look.
Add that bitch in.
Horn. I just gotta look.
How dare you not have a TJ horn?
No, let's do this again. So the number one beer is what you're drinking. Corona.
Yes, I love that.
All right, brother Will's fucking amazing having you here tonight.
Yes, sir.
You know, like I said, always. I don't know, man. Like every single time that you come here, you always have a fucking crazy story.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
Can you tame down your life just a little bit?
I'm so like.
Because I love you because you have so much content for the podcast, but as a friend, like maybe not so much.
I don't know how that happens.
Let's do this. Last segment of the podcast, which is, I don't want to call it the hot seat. I'm trying to figure out a good name for it.
Oh, okay.
Which is like something like, I'm going to ask you like 10 questions.
And I got to just answer?
And you just got to answer it.
Okay.
Don't think about it too much.
Okay.
You know.
Got it.
No.
Okay. There's an easy answer to your
across
original.
The bar. I don't know.
Yeah, there's an easy answer to that. We'll figure that out.
So here's the thing. I want to ask this at the end of the podcast because at this point we've had enough drinks.
You're warm.
Where you're gonna be honest. You're warmed up. You know, you're feeling loosey.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the hottest girl, and I'm gonna get turned on, and that's fine.
Yeah. Cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
Yeah. What are we having?
It's Buffalo
whiskey
Trace.
Coke. Whiskey Coke. All right. All right, Rob. You ready for the 10?
I'm ready, bro.
All right. I'm not gonna do it fast because that's weird.
It doesn't matter.
But all right, here we go.
I'm ready.
All right, Rob.
Everybody gets slapped.
All right, Rob. What is your McDonald's order?
All right.
You have 30 seconds. Go. No, I'm just kidding.
I usually get a Big Mac.
No. I'm kidding.
I get a Big Mac. I get a Big Mac, or I might get a 10-piece, or I might get a quarter pounder. Not a double quarter pounder. That's a lot. Big Mac or 10-piece or quarter pounder.
This is in case you become famous. I know what. Like, oh my God, I got the Rob meal.
Yeah.
Hey. All right. So you said 10-piece. All right. What are your sauces?
Oh, barbecue and sweet and sour all day. I know honey mustard's delicious too. It's just that my whole life I've done the barbecue and sweet and sour, and I'm cool with it.
So your ideal meal would be, Big Mac?
It's the Big Mac with a quarter pounder.
With a quarter pounder. Have you ever thought about Big Mac, quarter pounder, and chicken nuggets?
If I was in my 20s, I would do that. Because, you know, in Vegas, they had a thing where it's like 50 nuggets for like $20. I'm like, let's do it. You know, and I would get the 50 nuggets all the time.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
I don't give a fuck. I murder that shit.
All right. Summer or winter?
Summer. That's why I live here and not Chicago.
Wait, doesn't Chicago have bad summers too?
Yeah, they're shitty. It's humid.
You don't like that?
No, man. I'm a sweater. And it's humid. It's like it's hot as fuck with no sun. I was like, well, give me something.
I sweat less in humid than I do in.
I sweat more in humidity. Like everybody does. I mean, at least my buddies do. That's why, like, when my little brother was here, I got sick because that fucking guy's a polar bear. And he had that AC on full blast every night. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. So then, like, I had to be concerned that people thought I had COVID. Because I got like, you know, like I was like, fuck, everybody's. He's like, nah, but my little brother has a fucking AC on blast. He's a fucking polar bear. He's from the Shy. He needs it fucking a certain degree.
All right. What do you prefer? A good Mai Tai or whiskey neat? So like on the rock or by itself, whatever.
It really depends on the situation. But as a man, I might have to do the whiskey, the type of whiskey. But if I'm out like at the ballpark, I'm gonna do the Mai Tai.
Okay. All right.
I'm at the ballpark. I'm doing the.
I don't
Mai
know.
Tai.
That was kind of okay. No, life or death. Which one would you choose?
Life or death. I'll do the Mai Tai because I can drink more of it.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Oh, this might be a little biased question. Chicago, New York, or LA?
Living or the best or what? What's the context?
All of it.
To what?
All of it.
To live,
Best
man?
city in the world.
Oh, to live, LA is better than those two. Fucking New York and Chicago's got some fucking stupid bullshit, fucking money problem things going on, and then like the weather is crap, right? But the culture is so awesome that it rivals LA, right? The culture of people is so awesome that it rivals LA, but like the weather the weather alone is enough that LA is better.
Okay.
You know, the weather, because you're dealing with weather already, and then you got all this nonsense about stealing money, and it's just fucking.
All right.
It's ridiculous.
Blow jobs or hand jobs?
Oh my god, the best hand job is the one you use with your mouth.
I don't know. To me, it's like,
Oh, it's really hard for me to come. Like whenever I come,
girls kind of suck at both.
yeah,
Girls kind of
whenever I come, it's because I
Yeah.
concentrate. I'm like, because I know they're gonna be self-conscious. I know they're doing this. Like I'm gonna get them. It's not the same as a vagina. Relax. Like
Yeah.
it will never be look here. There's only one person that's gonna give me the best hand job, and that's me.
That's true.
That's
true.
me. No one's gonna beat me in my
Yeah.
hand job. You know, and you can't do it. And so you have to use your mouth, and even the mouth sometimes, like, they don't know what's going on, and that's not their fault. It's just
They just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They're not into
Well,
it. You know?
Unless there's a girl that's just like,
Unless that's her thing.
yeah.
And,
And there's someone
and
that's
she's
like,
a goddamn national treasure. Should be
yes,
protected.
yeah. There's some that's
I
obsessed
get
with
it.
penis.
I get it.
I get. Oh shit.
All right. If you could travel anywhere in the world,
Mm-hmm.
no money involved or anything like that, where would it be, and why?
Man, that's a tough one because like I'm very non-scenery, right? Like I need to appreciate my scenery more, and so then because of that, there's never been like a place was like, oh, I need to be there, right? But I do want to go to Italy because I feel like their culture is very similar to my Hispanic altogether, right? Because I'm Puerto Rican and Colombian, but I got all encompassing different Latino.
You're Puerto Rican Colombian, but like I don't know, you're kind of like I don't know. I could see where you I could see that.
So then like I do want to go to Italy. They're very similar, and then there's like there's a shit ton more history, and so I do love those people.
So Italy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's a good one. If shit was going down, right?
Okay.
And you had to save one person, right? Who would that person be?
Oh, my mom. Easy. I don't give a fuck about nobody. I mean, my baby brother. It's only two people. It's my mom and my baby brother.
All right, your baby brother or your mom. They're hanging off the cliff. You got to save one.
Oh, man. I'd have to do my mom because my baby brother would understand.
You're a true Latinx. All right. Hip hop or country?
Oh, hip hop.
All day, right?
I mean, country's cool. I accept it. I tolerate it more. I like tolerate it. I don't hate it, right? So there's always beautiful women there, and that's why I tolerate it. And there's like 3 songs that I like, and I don't know the names of them, but when they come on, I'm like, oh shit, that's my jam, right? Country bars, I've never had a fight in a country bar. I've always had a good. I've never had a fight there, and I've always had a good time, and everybody's always been friendly.
With your earrings and all. Yeah.
They always know that I don't belong there, and and that's why I appreciate country because I'm fine with it. Hip hop, oh my God, Jesus Christ. Jesus.
But the vibe. It's about the vibe.
I'm not about the music. It's about what I grew up with the music. But the
Yeah.
people that show up is not the same.
All right. So last question. Very simple question. Clubs or dive bars?
now that I'm older, I'm a dive bar guy, but nothing beats the club.
Because you were in Vegas for a while. So.
Yeah. So all I could do was club because the dive bars were so bad. They were just old people gambling, right? So you had no choice but to go to a club. But you know, the dive bars are cool. But what happens with dive bars is like it's a very cliquey thing, and sometimes I only got one friend with me, or you know, so or two. Like it's very cliquey, it's a very groupy thing.
There's also less bad little beesies. You know?
And so then there's like so with the club, because I've done the club so many years, I can like dissect it, right? So obviously I'm not gonna go to a club that's bottle service oriented because I can't determine who's there to try to have fun. So when you go to a club and there's I need to go to a club with a dance floor because the girl that's in the dance floor is trying to have fun, and I can approach her and I can ask her, "Do you want to dance?" It's as simple as that. Do you want to dance? And they're like, "No, yay, nay, whatever." Right? But a fucking club where it's all fucking bottle service, like you're just gonna have fucking like bottle service whores or
you know what's really interesting though?
It's fucking ridiculous.
Is that okay? Maybe it's like about the looks or something like that, but I've never been. I mean, I've been to many clubs, right?
I've been
and in the same way, go up to a girl like, "Do you want to dance?" Because I'm Hispanic, so I was like, "I'll just dance." I have 100% failure in a club, 100%.
Oh,
right.
But what is the ratio club to dive bar attempts?
No, what I'm saying, a lot. I go out all the time.
No, but I'm saying, do you go to clubs more than do you go to dive bars, or do you go to dive bars more than you go to clubs? Because that matters. Right? Because if you go to dive bars more,
I've been to enough clubs to
know that it's not your shit, and I get that.
No, not even that. No, it's not that it's not my shit. Like whatever, it doesn't. I don't care about the music. I don't care about the or price strings.
No.
That's
the
fine.
shit, like the culture of people that's
but
there.
Dive bars, I have way more success at.
Oh man, I'm really bad at it for some reason. I like it more though. I like the dive bar more than the club because
you know what it is. I feel it's because me personally, I need to talk. You know what I mean?
It's hard to talk at a club. It's really loud.
I think that's what it is.
Well, I'm not a concert guy. You know, it's so weird because I love music and concerts. I would hate to say that
He said you're a concert guy.
I kind of hate it. You know, I kind of hate concerts.
Yeah.
You know, because for my whole life, I didn't go to a concert. My first concert was when I was a Marine. I came back from Iraq.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah. And then my buddy goes, "Hey, Rob, do you want to go to a concert with me?" He's like, "I've never been to a concert." He goes, "I'm going to a Dave Matthews." I was like, "Oh, let's do it." I heard bitches love Dave Matthews. And you know, that's why I went, right?
Do they? I don't think they do.
Yeah, so he's like, I was like, "Okay, do you want to?" I said, "Let's go." So we go. I had a great time. I didn't get no girls, but we still went to TJ, right? Because it was right there in San Diego.
Yeah.
So then the next one, he was like, "Hey, do you want?"
I've never heard that, by the way. Bitches love fucking Dave Matthews.
Oh, bitches love Dave Matthews, and there's there's another white group. The next concert I went was another white group where bitches loved. Fuck, I gotta ask.
The Blowfish?
Oh,
I don't know.
Something like that, right? Something like that. It was
Metallica.
Like, no.
Have you ever been to a Metallica?
I think it was more like a hoodie.
Have you ever been to a Metallica show?
No, I haven't. I do like Metallica.
Bitches love Metallica.
Yeah, but now they're like.
No, they love them. No, they love it.
If they're not younger than me. Younger girls than me don't like Metallica, man.
I guarantee you. We'll go. Next time they're in town, I'll take you.
I like Metallica. So, because you know what? They helped me out when I was in high school, when I worked out, you know? And that was good music. And because this is funny about Metallica, right? Because I'm from an inner city, and it's all about rap, hip-hop. And it was like a blurred line, right? Mm-hmm. And I just started working out, and it was difficult because I'm a fat kid.
You were fat at some point?
I'm fat now, but like, I was out of, and so then I was like, I need motivation.
Yeah.
And my buddy, this white guy, he loved Metallica for some reason, and we grew up together, so it was weird. We went to a black grade school. But he was white. He's like, "Hey man, this is cool." And so then I put it in. I was like, "Oh shit, what's up?" And it helped me get through like my little workouts in my room, my little push-ups, my little mountain climbers, I was like, oh, and then like I grew to appreciate like music that is not hip hop.
That's what I always say. You know what? You want a surefire way to kill yourself? Get yourself into a sports car and play a Metallica album. You can kill yourself very easily. It just pumps you
Just
up.
put music high, like loud. Put music on loud, and you're immediately gonna drive faster.
Have you ever heard Nine Inch Nails?
You got to tell me the song. Like I have to hear it.
I can't wait. Oh my God, Rob, that's gonna be our new thing.
Yeah, because I know
we're
music.
We're gonna start a vlog or a YouTube of Silos takes Rob to fucking concerts.
Not like
Yeah.
man, God, I fucking hate him, dude.
I love it.
I want to punch everybody.
I know. Well, some of the concerts you can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, brother, I appreciate it. Thank you for answering all these questions. Some of them are personal.
Oh, they were easy peasy.
But yeah.
I love coming.
Yeah, man. So cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Until next time.
Yep.
Blink.